Good afternoon, all. I'm Kenneth Woodson, Chair of the L&I Board of Review. Today, Tuesday, August 27th. We will open this formal hearing of the L&I Board of Review. Uh, Procedurally, there are a few preliminary matters. We would, of course, just ask everyone to present and conduct yourselves as if you were in the formal courthouse in person. So that means no eating, sleeping, drinking while you're in court. Please ask that you dress appropriately, that no night clothes, none of that stuff, no reclining in your easy chair or in your beds. Uh, we want you to be alert and focused on your matter. Also, a formal record is being made of these hearings, so we really need each person to allow whoever's speaking to complete their statement before you have something to say. Everyone will be given an opportunity to present their case and to be heard. And so later, after we take care of a few preliminary matters, we will hear from the city. They will give us a list of all matters that have been resolved one way or the other. If your address is called, if it's your name or your address and it's listed as moot or moot complied, that means your matter is resolved for today. You're perfectly free to sign off and do whatever you have planned for today. If you need information as to the difference between a moot or moot complied case, please call the office. Do not break into the hearing to ask that question. Call the office on the decision that you receive. There will be a phone number. Please call that number and ask for information. We appreciate your cooperation and your presence. Uh, all of you were asked to be here at the same time, but each matter will be heard, so we may be here for several hours. So we just ask you to be patient as we proceed. We will begin with the matter that we need to render a decision about, and that matter will be read into the record by Mr. Wade, the administrator, and we will, at that point, vote. Mr. Wade?
The board.
I'm sorry. Yes, each board member, we will introduce ourselves. I apologize. I'm Kenneth Woodson, board chair. We need
Ralph Pincus, board member. Sorry, Steve.
Let me back up. I'm Steve Pettit, board member.
Thank you.
Roger S. Tennant Sr., board member.
Beverly Penn, board member.
In Washington, board member.
Cortez Patton, board member.
Thank you very much. Okay. All right, Mr. Wade, if you read that first matter.
Richard Wade, Board Administration. This is case number 50, hearing appeal ending 00.
My apologies, Mr. Wade. I apologize. We're getting off a little awkward here. You were introducing yourself. Mr. Wade is the board administrator. Mr. McSherry.
Ryan McSherry, board counsel. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. My apologies. My apologies, everyone. Okay, Mr. Wade.
Case number 50, hearing appeal ending 0025, 156 West Schoolhouse Lane, Penn Knox Neighborhood Association.
Okay. Thank you. I know that probably a number of interested parties who are here today, including an interpreter who's present. So we will now poll the board regarding HA-2024-000025, 156 West Schoolhouse Lane, Penn Knox Neighborhood Association. And I will begin the vote. City affirmed.
I'm
City
abstaining.
Mr. Pettit.
City affirmed.
Okay.
City affirmed.
Oh, wait. We didn't hear from Mr. Sue.
Hey, excuse me, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
Mr. Pincus
Yes.
voted before I did.
Okay. So, Mr. Pincus, you have a statement to make on your vote?
I'm abstaining from voting because I was not present at the time of the hearing.
Okay, one abstention. Okay.
And excuse me for interrupting. I believe Mr. Pettit also has a statement to make regarding review of the record.
Okay.
Oh, I did review the records and city affirmed.
Thank you. Who would be next? I think that's
Sid.
Mr. Tennant.
Yes, sir. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Okay. Thank you very much. The vote is 6 city affirmed, 1 abstention by Mr. Pincus. So that means that the city's position is maintained and will become the order of the board. We will now move on to hear from the law department representative regarding other matters. Is there something else before we proceed?
Yes, we can dismiss the sign language interpreter.
Yes. Ma'am, Ms. Rena, thank you very much for your participation. Okay.
Thank you,
Alrighty.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on. Who we're going to hear from the city law department regarding outstanding matters that have been resolved.
Good afternoon, Chairman. Michael Rulo, RULLO, on behalf of the city.
Good afternoon.
Beginning with number 2, appeal ending 20303900 North 8th Street. Appellant Irma Sosa Pineda, moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number 3, appeal ending 002100 1538 East Susquehanna Avenue. Anthony and Nicole Tirico, moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number 5, appeal ending 003185 9456 Woodbridge Road, Jonathan O, moot.
Thank you.
Number 8, appeal ending 003258 2070 Kensington Avenue, Diane Gittelmacher, moot.
Oh, and this is 3258 on Kingston Street.
No, this is, excuse me, yes, it is.
Okay, the appellant that I have is Aaron McGlowan.
Yes, I mixed that up. To be clear on the record, I'll reread this.
Okay.
Number 8, appeal ending 003258 2070 Kingston Street, Aaron McLawn Jr., moot.
Okay, thank you.
Number 9, appeal ending 003277 3521 Kensington Avenue, Diane Gittelmacher, moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number 13, appeal ending 003734 4307 Fairmont Avenue, Chagai Bader, doing business as Fairmont 4307 Fairmont LLC, moot.
Thank you.
Number 17, appeal ending 003831 211 East Haines Street, Jean Pierre Ventura, doing business as Simplifile LLC, moot.
Moot, thank you.
Number 18, appeal ending 003835 442 West Butler Street, William Robinson, moot.
Thank you.
Number 20, appeal ending 003859 528 to 40 West Oxford Street, Oxford Flats Manor Residential LP, moot.
Moot.
21, appeal ending 003866 1510 68th Avenue, Jean Baxter, moot.
Moot.
Number 26, appeal ending 003971 1525 South 11th Street, Taher Salah, doing business as AJH Convenience, moot.
Moot, thank you.
27, appeal ending 004011 1635 Harrison Street, Joanna McLean and Cedric Aline, moot.
Thank you.
Number 29, pardon, lost my place here. Appeal ending 004098 1940 South Street. The appellant is a Wishin Wu, moot.
Thank you.
Number 30, appeal ending 004120 1819 Ashurst Street, Jacob Strauberg, moot. Number 44, appeal ending 004226 4101 Paul Street, Aaron Sutton Jr., moot. Number 45, appeal ending 0044 404, 944 West Russell Street, Melvin Kaba, moot.
Okay.
I'm going to address, excuse me, I'll start with number 46, 004, 452, 1840 West Master Street, appellant Eliu Diallo, moot. Number 47, appeal ending 004, 221, also 1840 West Master Street, but the appellant for that case is 1840 West Master Street LLC. That is also moot.
Oh, thank you.
And then I have a few continuances and agreements to read into the record, and I
Okay.
assume then we can turn over to my colleagues to do the same.
Yes. You can proceed.
Beginning with number 15, appeal ending 003, 824, 1408 North 50th Street. Appellant is a Maria Hall doing business as Milton Pro Auto Collision. I believe I wanted to confirm whether or not that continuance is granted. My recollection is that the owner had contacted the board and was out of country.
We did receive a request. Did the city have a position on that?
I believe that this is the first listing. Perhaps I'm incorrect, but assuming that that is the case, we would not object to it.
Okay, we note that as continued.
Moving to number, excuse me, I lost my place again here. There are a lot of cases on the list today. Moving to number 28, appeal ending 004, 097, 5242 North 6th Street. Appellant is a Marty Lee. I had contacted the board because it's spoken with an individual, I believe is the wife of the appellant. I'm not sure if she is present today, but the crux of it is that I believe that we will need a power of attorney given the circumstances of the medical challenges that the actual appellant is facing.
Yes, we reviewed that in executive session and agreed to a continuance.
Okay. Moving to number 37, appeal ending 003, 517, 2118 Gould Street, appellant Fred Levine, who is represented by Arthur Cavalier. We had contacted the board. That is agreement with the city affirm and a 3-month stay of enforcement.
City affirmed 3-month stay. Okay.
Moving to number 48, appeal ending 004, 123, 3234 F Street. The appellant is a Jose Alvarado. I have
Wait, just one moment. You said number 48?
48.
And I have 1840 West Masters. No, my apologies. You're correct. My apologies. Please proceed.
I had a chance to speak with the intermediary for the appellant. My understanding is that he will require a Spanish translator.
Okay. Had a request been submitted for that?
No, not to my knowledge. I will say, though, that in the course of those conversations, we were able to reach an agreement on this case. I just don't think that we would be able to read that into the record without a translator being present.
Okay, so let's note the record. This will be continued to request a Spanish interpreter, and then we'll rehear the matter.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
So we don't have to pay attention to the timely issue?
Not today, principally because the appellant can't participate without an interpreter.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Rulo, anything else?
I believe that does it for me.
Mr.
Okay,
Rulo,
thank you.
before you, Mr. Rulo, can I just confirm 2 matters?
Yes, please.
Case number 25, hearing appeal ending 3936, 4902 North 12th Street. Can you confirm the status of that?
My understanding is that that appeal was withdrawn by the appellant.
Okay, I
So-
had it as moot.
So we should list 25 as withdrawn? Mr. Rulo?
If there are questions on that, I believe my colleague Lee Begelman is assigned to that. So if there's a question on that, I would default to him.
Okay, what we will do then, Mr. Begelman, I see your hand is up anyway.
Yeah.
So why don't you just, what is your understanding of number 25?
Yeah, the violations are moot. but the appellant, I believe, I'm pulling up the email now, emailed the board on Monday the 19th saying that he requests to withdraw the appeal.
Okay. All right. So our records are clear that it's moot.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anything else, Mrs. Begelman, while we're speaking?
I do have other matters, yeah.
Yes.
The first is case number 10, appeal number ending 003291 regarding 4257 North Hicks Street, appellant Yen Tran. We have an agreement for a city affirm with a 90-day stay of enforcement. That was just reached today, so I'm happy to email that to the board.
Okay.
This afternoon.
City affirmed 90-day stay. Thank you.
I also, next one is case number 14, appeal number ending 003757 concerning 5631 North 11th Street, appellant Jonathan Edwards. I just spoke to the appellant in a breakout room prior to the hearing beginning, and we'd like to request a joint continuance request. We believe this matter might be resolved in the short term following an inspection and a meeting between the appellant and the inspector. So I'd like
Okay.
to continue this matter for now.
Okay. I will note for the record that this was a late appeal was granted. So we really don't like continuing cases where the matter got special consideration for submitting a late appeal. And given that it's a joint appeal, we will grant it with the caveat that it must be heard.
That's fine.
Okay. Alrighty, we'll continue this matter with the requirement that it must be heard. Thank you.
And that is all for me today.
All right. All right, let's go here to Michelle Reinhardt.
Good afternoon, board. I have two matters to bring to your attention. The first is number 38 on the list.
Okay.
Appeal ending 3479. This is regarding 465 Parlin Street, appellant Argo LLC. We have an agreement for city affirmed with a 120-day stay, and that was previously forwarded to the board administration.
So noted. Thank you.
And then for number
Excuse me, Mr.
Yes.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, we're talking about number 38.
Yes, number 38,
Thank
Parlin
you.
Street. Yep.
Thank you.
Ms. Reinhardt.
And then the next one was number 4 on the list, appeal ending 003112 regarding 5025 Torresdale Avenue, appellant Joseph Rios. This notice of violation and intent to cease was sent to a corporate entity. This is, I believe, the second hearing listed for it. At the first, they were instructed to get counsel, and I have not heard a response from them indicating who their counsel may be.
Okay. Is Mr. Rios present? Joseph Rios. Joseph Rios. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
Mr. Rios listed 825 Fairley Road, Ben Salem as his address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 825 Fairley Road, Ben Salem on July 17th, 2023.
Okay. Ms. Reinhardt, when did you communicate with the appellant?
I asked them whether they had an attorney that we would be able to communicate with, as at the last hearing, my understanding was that the board directed them to obtain an attorney in order to move forward with their hearing.
Yes. How did you communicate, and when did that happen?
It was by email last week. I believe it was last Thursday.
Okay. And you receive no response?
No response.
Okay. Well, so what's your preference today?
I would ask that this be marked city affirmed non-appearance.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
1:27 p.m.
1:27 p.m. Alrighty. We will poll the board on HA-2023-003-112 5025 Torresdale Avenue, Joseph Rios, city affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, anything else, Ms. Reinhardt?
That was it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. John Mazorik.
Good morning, board chair and rest of the board members. I have two matters to discuss.
Okay.
The first is number 12 on the list, appeal ending 003346. The address is 1747 South Conestoga Street. Appellant is Musi Araya, doing business as Nalaya Investments LLC. The city has reached an agreement with the appellant, and that can be marked as a city affirm with a reduced fine of $150.
$150 fine. Okay. Thank you.
The second matter is number 34 on the list. Appeal ending 003703. Property address is 515 Garrett Street. The appellant was David Oliva Sr. That matter can also be marked as a city affirm with a reduced fine of $150.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all that you have for us at this point?
That's all that I have. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Christopher Johnson.
Good afternoon, board. I have a couple of preliminary matters to raise to the board's attention. Regarding number 6 on the list, appeal HA-2023-003203 regarding 67 to 69 West Queen Lane. The appeal of the intent to cease at that property of Zenobia Ship. I've an agreement that was reached today with attorney Rachel Pritzker, who is on the call. The appeal should be marked as city affirm with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
Okay, just one moment. Settlement city affirm and 90-day stay. Okay. Is Ms. Pritzker present? If you are, please unmute and make
Yes.
yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, may we see your video, please?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Pritzker, I just wanted to confirm that in fact you agree that this settlement was properly stated?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So noted. Thank you very much. That resolves that matter there.
And I would like the board to note that number 7 on the list, HA-3023-003221, was an appeal of the same intent to cease by the tenant at that property, as representative filed by Edgar Einhorn, the attorney. I don't believe anyone has appeared on that case, so we're going to be asking that it be dismissed, failure to appear.
Okay, now, so I have Ms. Rachel Pritzker noted as attorney. That's incorrect.
Well, I think Ms. Pritzker was the attorney for number 6.
Okay.
Not sure she was the attorney for number 7.
Okay, so Edgar, and you can confirm that Edgar Einhorn, is the attorney for number 7?
Well, that was the one that was listed on the board's list.
Okay, because I don't have him listed, but okay.
Either way, it's going to be
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
Yes.
Chairman, have we confirmed that Ms. Pritzker is not the attorney? I saw she muted.
Well, she's still here. We can ask her.
Yeah, I wasn't involved with filing that one. I was involved with the other one.
Okay. All right. So Mr. Wade will confirm who received notice.
Mr. Chair, just to verify.
Wait, Mr. Tenant. I want to hear from Mr. Wade. Mr. Wade?
Mr. Ellman listed 1828 East 24th Street in Brooklyn, New York. Notice was sent to Ms. Mitchell Ellman at that address on July 17th, 2024. Notice was sent to Rachel Pritzker at 1521 Locust Street, Suite 605 on 7/17/2024. The prior listing before the board, this was heard before the board on July 2nd. The prior listing was sent to Edgar Einhorn at 255 South 17th Street on May 22nd.
Okay, so what was the outcome of the prior listing?
Continued.
It was continued in the prior listing. Okay, and so the listing or the notice for today's hearing was not sent to Mr. Einhorn, correct?
It was only sent to Mr.
Okay, so we don't have adequate service in this instance. So
Let me just check one thing.
okay, there was a mix-up. Same address, two different cases.
Correct.
Correct.
The, if I may, the appeal lists Mitchell Elman, Prince Without a Crown, LLC.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the correct owner.
Okay.
Mitchell Elman is the human being, and then Prince Without a Crown is the LLC that owns the property.
Okay, so let's do this. Once we hear from Mr. Wade regarding service, we will call the case and see who responds.
Do we know who Edgar Einhorn is?
Yes, he's an attorney in town, so he should have been notified for this hearing, and apparently we don't believe he was notified.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Hi, this is Leonard Reuter. I had some involvement in that matter earlier, and we received an email from Yadane Cultural Solutions LLC, who I think Mr. Einhorn had. Well, he actually, I have the Zenobia Ship had some association with the company, and she filed the appeal on behalf of that tenant. And she named Mr. Einhorn as the attorney, but we received a further email notification prior to the last listing from a Calvin Harris, who's the owner of Yadane Cultural Solutions, which I believe is the tenant of the property, indicating that to disregard their appeals or attempts. I can forward that to the board.
Yes, please do that. That will help. Mr. Wade, let's do, if you can't confirm just yet, given.
I believe Mr. Einhorn was removed from the case, and Rachel Pritzker was added as the attorney.
Okay, she's stated on the record that she's not involved in that aspect of the case, so she shouldn't.
Mr. Chair.
Well,
That was my question. Go ahead.
wait. So she shouldn't be listed as counsel. So what we will do to unravel this onion is to continue it for today, and to allow the city's attorneys to confirm who the counterpart is, so we can determine how to proceed in the future. Okay.
Thank
All right. Yeah. Let's continue this. Thank you. All right. Mr. Johnson, you have anything else?
For number 35, HA 2023-003730, 701 Adams Avenue, La Guira Incorporated. John Griffin, the attorney, was unavailable for today's hearing due to a pre-existing medical appointment. We had submit an agreed request to continue the matter earlier this week.
Yes, we noted it. It's in executive session. This joint continuance request was granted.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was number 35?
35.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Mr. Thomas Gulitz.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I had two matters to bring to the board's attention today. The first was number 39 on our list that is ending in 004541, 2536 West York, Miss Donna Abney. That case we've come to an agreement on for a city affirm with a 120-day stay of enforcement.
120-day stay. Thank you.
Thank you. And then the second matter that I'd like to bring to the board's attention was number 23 on the list. That is ending in 003920. A Mr. Shelton Fortune filed the appeal. However, the violation was addressed to Shelton F Investments LLC. We have no record of counsel being entered, and was wondering if counsel had entered.
Okay, we don't have any record of counsel, but is anyone present representing the interests of 5630 Chew Avenue, Shelton Fortune or Shelton Fortune Investments?
Yes.
Who's present?
Shelton Fortune.
Okay, Mr. Fortune, the property at 5630 Chew Avenue, who owns that property?
Me.
And you name individually or as a LLC or
It's
corporate entity?
it's under my LLC.
Do you have a lawyer representing you today?
No, I didn't have a lawyer represent me today.
Okay,
I
well,
had
listen to
a
me. Listen to me.
okay.
To be heard at the Illinois Board of Review, you must have an attorney if the property involved is owned by a corporate entity. So it means you need
Okay.
to hire an attorney. We can't hear your case today.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
we
how
will
do I go about rescheduling?
we will do that. We will the record will reflect that we've continued the matter to allow you to secure an attorney.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you'll get notice. You receive notice. Please do that
Okay.
as quickly as possible.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Anything else, sir?
My thanks to the board. I had no further preliminary matters.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll hear from Will Fernandez.
Thank you, members of the board. Excuse me. I'd like to first turn your attention to case number 19 on the list, appeal number ending in 3855, appellant Mose Towing, represented by Warren Hamilton on the appeal application. I was attempting to reach out to Mr. Hamilton last week and earlier this week. And then this morning, I received an email from David Slapp, who is the owner of the property in question here at 5300 Lansdowne Avenue. Mr. Slapp, who I believe is on this call, informed me that Mr. Hamilton, his attorney, or I should say his former attorney, has passed away, and so he is currently unrepresented. Mr. Slapp indicated a desire to ask for a continuance at this hearing, and given the circumstances, I am not opposed.
Okay, is Mr. Slapp present?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mr. Slapp, do you currently have an attorney, replacement attorney yet?
I do, yes. I think I do. They've had a wrong address for me.
Okay,
for a
wait.
while.
Let's not complicate the
Okay.
conversation. I just need to know if you have an attorney yet.
I'm not positive.
Okay, so let's do this. Given, and it's your testimony that in fact your attorney, Mr. Warren Hamilton, has died.
Correct.
Okay, so we will continue this matter to allow you to secure a new counsel. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Turning your attention to appeal number 11 on the list, appeal number ending 3329, address 4864 Lancaster Avenue, appellant David Williams, doing business as YP2 Tire Shop. I spoke to Mr. Williams, and he informed me that he was represented by Harry Cook, who I think most of this board is familiar with. I reached out to Mr. Cook, got an away message that he was out of the office today. So then I spoke to Mr. Cook's colleague, Vern Anastasio. Mr. Anastasio informed me that while they were retained to represent Mr. Williams before the Zoning Board of Adjustment in Mr. Williams's effort to legalize the use at the subject property, they were not representing him before the Board of L&I Review. I informed Mr. Williams of this, and then just a few minutes later, I got an email from Mr. Anastasio indicating that they may be retained by Mr. Williams to represent him in this matter. I'm not sure, this was happening just in the last couple of hours, so I'm not sure if Mr. Anastasio was able to join, but after having that brief exchange with Mr. Anastasio, I told him that I would represent this story to the board. And given the circumstances and given Mr. Williams's efforts towards legalization, which include pursuing a variance at the zoning board, I don't object a continuance in this matter either.
Okay, is either party present, either the appellant or appellant's counsel? Anyone
I'm
present?
present.
Your
Go ahead,
name,
Mr.
sir?
Williams. David Williams.
And you're the appellant in this matter?
I'm appealing the court, yes.
Yes, you're the appellant. Okay. So, Mr. Fernandez, city attorney, represented certain facts. So you're in agreement with that fairly states the status of your case?
Yes.
And you will be hiring an attorney to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Fernandez, based on that, we will continue this matter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That takes care of my preliminary issues. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Sean Logue.
Good afternoon, board members. There are three preliminary matters I want to call your attention to. The first is case number 24 on our list, appeal ending in 003930, address 1916 East Pike Street, appellant AOZ Properties LLC. And that matter has been resolved by a settlement agreement, the terms of which are city affirmed with a reduced fine of $150. And I shared a copy of that agreement with board administration this morning.
Thank you. That's city affirmed $150 fine. Okay.
What case was that, Mr. Chair?
That's number 24.
Thank you.
And then case number 36 on our list, appeal ending in 003538, address 32 South 44th Street. The appellant is Northern Libs Partners LLC. And my understanding is that that appeal was withdrawn by the appellant on August 7th.
Withdrawn? Okay, thank you.
And then finally, case number 22 on our list, appeal ending in 003868, address 1204 South Clarion Street. Appellant is an FOOK Lao. That matter was marked on the list as requiring a Chinese interpreter. I don't see a Chinese interpreter present, although Ms. Lau is present.
There is an interpreter present, and then they have a hard stop at 2:30. We were going to call that case first.
Okay, I was hoping I could get into a breakout room with the interpreter then and Ms. Lau.
I'll do that now.
Thank you.
Any inspector or just?
If Inspector Smith is here, if she wants to join, that would be good. But otherwise, I'm comfortable with just the three of us talking.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And besides that, that concludes my preliminary matters. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fernandez, you still have your hand raised. Is this another matter that you have?
No apologies, just a mistake. Sorry.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't see any additional hands raised by law department staff. If not, Mr. Wade, when you're ready to start, let's call the balance of the list. Also, I just wanted to check. I saw Mr. and Mrs. Lee, who's muted. Mr. and Mrs. Lee, which property are you here for? You're muted, ma'am, so you unmute yourself. Yeah.
5242 North 6th Street.
Okay, I'm wondering if, just one moment. That's Marty Lee is the appellant?
Yes.
Yeah, we received a request to continue this because of a medical problem. That's been
Yes.
resolved. We granted the request, so you don't have to stay on.
All right. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Okay, you're welcome. Alrighty, Mr. Wade.
The only request I had to go out of order was for the interpreter. We'll call that when they come back from the breakout room. but
Okay.
we should start at the top of the list.
Alrighty. Let's start.
Mr. Wade, I haven't been prompted yet to join a breakout room.
Sorry, Sean.
That's okay.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, he's muted, so he may.
All right,
Okay.
this is case number one. This is case number one, hearing appeal ending 1760, 1453 North Newkirk, Amina Oliver.
Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Chairman Whitson. John Mazurek for the city.
Afternoon, Mr. Mazurek. Amina Oliver, are you present?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Oliver, you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Before we begin, Ms. Oliver, are you the owner of this property?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else's name on the deed?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Brizard, do you have any witnesses today?
I will be calling Inspector Gonzalez for
Okay.
this case, but before I do, from reading the appeals document, I'm not sure there's necessarily a dispute over whether the violations have occurred at this property. I don't know if that's a question we would like to
Well,
ask Ms. Oliver.
let's do this then. We will need you and to potentially call the appellant as a as a witness and see what she has to say.
We can just take this in normal case, then that's fine, Chairman.
Okay.
So I would call Inspector Gerardo Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony given today be the truth so help you God? We didn't hear your response.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you. You may need to move closer to your microphone because you were very faint.
No.
And normally you speak up a bit louder than that.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Brizard?
Thank you, Board Chair. Good afternoon, Inspector Gonzalez. Could you just state your employer and your role, please?
I work for the Department of License and Inspection, City of Philadelphia. I'm a code enforcement inspector. I work for the vending unit. I also work for the vacant property unit.
How long have you worked for the Department of Licenses and Inspections?
31 years.
Thank you, Inspector. Permission to share my screen, Chairman Woods?
Yes, please.
Is that visible to everyone?
If you could magnify it just a bit more. Yep. Thank you.
Make this a bit bigger.
Excuse me.
Inspector Gonzalez, how did you come to be aware of this property?
There was a complaint put out about a vacant property on the block, and I just had to go out and verify exactly what was there.
When did you first inspect the property?
Back in April of 23.
Okay, and from the actual violation notice, it was March 31st. So, and so could you just give us a rundown on some of the violations that were issued to this property?
Yeah, there was loose bricks at the top of the chimney. The handrail was missing at the front of the property. I think there was a broken window in the back, the glass in the rear shed, kitchen shed. The repairs to the side of the shed, which was like coming loose, the wood. Also, the tiles were also coming loose. We just lost the
yeah. Is that visible still?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And so I'm just gonna show you a few pictures from your inspections.
Sure.
This is just confirming that Ms. Oliver owns the property. And so, Inspector, this is a picture from your first inspection of the property. Can you kind of match this to the violation that was written for the property?
Yes, that's the exterior front. The only thing there is just the handrail that was missing.
Okay, and my apologies for the grainy quality on these pictures. And so this was another inspection of the property. I believe this is time marked. This shows the same violation, I assume?
Yes.
And then one more inspection we have of the front exterior of the property, and the violation you can confirm was still existing at that time.
Yes.
Okay. And then turning to Exhibit D, what is this picture showing, Inspector?
That shows the bricks that are loose on the top of the chimney, the tiles coming.
So up here at the top of the chimney, correct?
Right.
And so these are just loose bricks, which are obviously a violation. Is there any danger that comes with these loose bricks?
Well, throughout the time, with the weather and everything, that'll just crumble down, so it'll fall apart.
Understood. And here I have another picture, pretty much showing the same sort of violation. Is that correct?
Right.
And I guess more generally, did you notice any deterioration at the property upon your re-inspections?
Just the loose bricks and the tiles and the loose wood, and everything is in the rear.
Gotcha, understood. And so continuing on, this is,
It made it harder this time because there was more weeds back there.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. So it looks like it's a little bit more difficult to get the picture, but I think this one's still showing those loose bricks essentially.
Right.
Okay, and then we can turn into exhibit E. What is this a picture of?
That's the rear shed. That's the window that's broken.
Okay, so this is the rear window here?
Yes.
Okay, and that's broken, and was there glass?
No, it's just the window's just shattered. That's all it is.
Okay,
The
understood.
window the glass that just has to be repaired.
Turning to your next inspection, which was, so this was April, condition still in violation?
Yes.
And this was your most recent inspection. This is August 14th.
Right.
Could you tell what we're kind of seeing in this picture?
That's the side of the kitchen shed. It looks like it's falling apart. The wood is crumbling.
Yes, so that matches up. You did write a violation for this
Right.
this rear kitchen shed wall.
Right.
Okay, and again, this is the rear of the property.
Yeah, the window
missing, and just the current condition of the property. And then this is the final picture. Turning to exhibit F, this is a water usage bill of the property, correct?
Yes.
And what does this indicate?
It indicates that there's no water usage at the property, which tells us it's a vacant property.
Do you have any other, why were you believing that this property was vacant?
Well, when I did the inspection the second time, I knocked on the door, and the neighbors on the block told me that it's been vacant for years.
Understood.
And nobody really came to the door, so.
Well, thank you, Inspector. I would like to offer Inspector Gonzalez for cross and submit my exhibits and evidence.
Exhibits are noted, will be submitted. Ms. Oliver, do you have any questions for Inspector Gonzalez?
No, I don't have any questions for him.
Okay, alrighty. Mr. Reserve, do you have any additional witnesses?
I do not. Thank you, Board Chair.
Okay. All right, Ms. Oliver, would you like to share with us your understanding of the facts?
Yes, sir. I would like to let everyone know that I submitted paperwork showing that I did hire an architect and a contractor. I don't want anybody to think that I'm just neglecting this. Basically, I'm waiting on them.
Okay, Ms. Oliver, but let's just for a moment. Since you submitted the appeal, which suggests that the violation notices was defective in some way, so that's really what we want to know from you is why you're appealing.
I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah, why did you appeal the violation notice?
I mean, I don't understand because I submitted, like, I don't understand the question because I was just showing that.
Well, let me explain it to you. You received a violation notice from the department for violation of certain building and housing codes that Mr. Gonzalez reviewed a few moments ago, correct?
Correct.
So when you got that violation notice, did you pay the fine and comply?
No. I went downtown and told them that that property, I had to get the property rehab.
Okay, so it's a vacant property, right?
Correct.
Okay, did you call Mr. Gonzalez and say, hey, this is what I'm planning to do? This is how I'm going to respond.
No,
okay.
I was just.
Okay, second thing, but you then decided to submit a appeal, which requests a hearing on your appeal. This is what we're doing today. And so the question is, why did you submit the appeal if in fact you admit that's vacant property and you need to make some improvements?
Okay, well, maybe I've been misinformed. Like I said, once I got this notice, I went straight downtown and I was informed to file the appeal, which is the paperwork that I did, so that I can have time to work on the property. So maybe I was misinformed. Like you're saying, contact Mr. Gonzalez. I didn't know that that was something that was possible. So like I said, I'm not arguing over, what was submitted. My thing is I hired an architect and a contractor to address these issues, and I just submitted paperwork showing that they were paid for their services. So I'm basically just waiting on them. I don't want anybody to think that I'm ignoring what's going
Oh, okay.
on.
Okay. All right. And so the issue is, when do you plan to start renovations?
Like I said, they had to submit the zonings was just approved. If that helps, I have like a zoning ready issue number.
Was that a permit that who submitted that a permit application? Your contractor or your architect?
The architect.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, thank you. It matters that in fact you're taking positive steps. Okay, so
I mean, did I do something? I mean, I'm not disputing the violations, but am I not doing the right thing? Because this is what I was advised to do.
No, you're absolutely doing the right thing and responding and making the repairs. I guess the added step that you've added the board to the process, we didn't need to be involved, because we're here to determine if the violations were properly written, and if so, the city can proceed with whatever penalties. If the violations were not properly written, then in fact we support the appeal of the appellant yourself. In this case, there's no dispute. It's the violations exist, the property is vacant, but you're taking appropriate steps, which is fine, which is good. So you need to be in touch with Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, is that accurate, or is there someone else she should speak with?
Yeah, she's doing the right thing.
Okay, so is there a need for her to talk to you to note the record so you know what she's doing? And so if there are any complaints in the future, you'll know how to deal with it?
Yeah, I mean, she can actually contact that right on the report. The violation is my email address.
Okay, I have it in front of me. I'm looking to see.
Yeah, at the very bottom, there should be email and/or a phone number.
I don't have nothing with Mr. Gonzalez information on it.
Mr. Gonzalez, can you put that in the chat?
Sure.
He's gonna put that in the chat, ma'am.
I'm listening.
No, he'll put it in the chat. You'll go there and you'll see his information, and you should be in touch with him. Okay.
Okay, so I just contact him from now on.
Talk to him, and he'll help you. He'll help you get through the process.
All right.
Ms. Oliver, you may need to look at the bottom of your screen where it says chat. Do you see that at the bottom of your screen?
No.
At the very bottom, there should be a chat section.
There's a whole bunch of little icons, little symbols, and one of them is chat.
Okay, she's gone, but let's do this. Ms. Oliver, if you can't find that, we'll ask somebody from Mr. Wade. Maybe someone should call.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. In the meantime, Ms. Oliver, we need to make a decision regarding your case, and so that we could move on to other matters. Okay. So, you have a contractor, you have an architect, you've submitted certain permits so that you're proceeding. Did you get a decision from the zoning board, Ms. Oliver? You're muted. You're muted, Ms. Oliver. Would you mind unmuting? You're still muted.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Have you received a decision from the zoning board?
Yes, it's ready for issue. I have the number.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, you ahead of the game. Okay. All righty. We will then poll the board on HA 2023-001760-1453 North Newkirk Street. Amina Oliver, city affirmed.
City affirmed.
Appeal sustained.
Appeal sustained.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Okay.
Appeal sustained.
Okay. Thank you very much. 1, 2, 3. I think the vote is 4-3. City affirmed, and so the city's position prevails. Ms. Oliver, you'll get a written notice of our decision in the mail shortly. So please talk to Mr. Gonzalez and make sure that he knows what you're doing to get this resolved. Okay.
Okay. Thank you for your help.
All right. Have a good day.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Wade.
I'm sorry, I missed the vote there.
It was 4-3. City affirmed.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, can we go to executive session?
Yes. Sure. On the previous matter. Okay, I'd like to make certain that the attorney representing the previous matter 001760 is present. That's 1453 North Newkirk Street, Amina Oliver.
I'm still here, Chairman Woodson.
Yeah. Mr. Brazorik, is Miss Oliver still with us? I don't believe so. As a result of our consideration, the board has reconsidered and has determined that it will rescind the previous decision regarding this matter, and we will revote to determine the outcome.
Respectfully, Board Chair, I would just like to note that a final decision has already been entered on this matter.
I know it has, and so we're formally rescinding that decision, and your objection is noted.
If this is regarding the state of enforcement, may I please have at least make a comment regarding that?
Sure.
To the extent there's a state of enforcement, this is the third listing of this matter. The appeal was filed over 16 months ago. So while the city certainly appreciates that Ms. Oliver is now finally taking some steps to comply the violations, as I mentioned, this is the third listing and this violation was written approximately 17 months ago now.
Okay.
Thank you, Board Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. We appreciate your comments and your advocacy on behalf of the city of Philadelphia. Okay, we will poll the board regarding HA 20-23-001760. Let me repeat that number. I misstated it. HA 20-23-001760, 1453 North Newkirk Street, Amina Cooper, City affirm 120-day stay of enforcement. I'd invite my colleagues to join me in voting.
City affirmed 120 days stay of enforcement.
City affirmed 120-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed with 120 days stay of enforcement.
Affirmed.
City affirmed 120-day stay of enforcement.
City affirmed 120-day stay of enforcement.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe that the vote is city affirmed 120-day stay of enforcement. Thank you very much, everyone, for your participation and cooperation.
Thank you, Chairman Woodson.
Okay, let's proceed to the next matter.
Case. If the parties are back for case number 22.
Okay.
Ms. Penn, just to clarify, did you leave off this stay of enforcement on your vote?
Yes, I reiterated my previous vote.
Okay.
Okay. Would you call that number 22, please?
I was just gonna see if they're still in a breakout room.
Okay.
They still are. So we can.
Do you need to communicate with them and see if they're ready to come back?
Yes, there also is a quick cleanup matter on case number 7. I believe the city is prepared to, if I recall, case number 7, hearing appeal ending 3221 67 West Queen Lane, Mitchell,
Yes.
Holman.
Okay. Who's representing that matter again?
It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Yes.
The board, we had some discrepancy because 2 appeals of that cease had been filed. The city had entered the agreement with the owner of the property that it would be city affirmed with a 90-day stay of enforcement with regard to appeal number 6. And for that reason, the city's position is that the appeal at number 7 should be marked as moot.
Okay, the issue we had was the attorney, we don't know who the attorney is, and we don't believe that that attorney was given notice of today's hearing. That's why it was continued.
I understand, but there had been, regardless of that issue, there's still the matter of the underlying cease that was under appeal has been disposed of by the result in the other case, which makes that moot.
We do. Board's administration does have correspondence of Mr. Einhorn no longer being involved in the matter, but we do not have any correspondence of another attorney.
Okay, well, let's do this. I'll seek counsel from Mr. McSherry. Mr. McSherry, do we need executive session or can you offer this on the record?
I would say based on the representation of counsel for the city, Mr. Johnson, again, the effect of the agreement in the other matter would render this moot, and it would be appropriate to mark it as such.
Okay, all right, thank you. We will note then that HA-2023-003221 and that's 67 West Queen Lane. Mitchell Elman is moot.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay,
I'm gonna double check just because of the,
I had Mr. Logue is present. Was he in the breakout room?
let me see.
Yes, I was.
Okay, Mr. Logue. So why don't we call that mad? Mr. Logue, are you prepared to go on the record?
I am. I just want to make sure that Ms. Lau has joined. There was some difficulty leaving the breakout room and returning to
Okay.
the room.
I will help her right now. Believe she's back now. Okay, she's back. This is recalling case 22, hearing appeal ending 3868, 1204 South Clarion Street, Fook Hing Lau.
Okay. Mr. Logue, with whom did you speak just now?
I spoke with Ms. Lau and the interpreter, the Mandarin interpreter, Mike.
Okay, is the interpreter present?
I'm here.
Okay. Is Ms. Lau present? Actually, Mr. Mike, would you give us your last name, please?
Wang, W-A-N-G.
Okay. Mr. Wang, would you ask Miss Fu Hing Lau to present herself?
刘女士，请您在线上的话，请您讲话，把话筒打开，讲话，告诉听证官你现在在现场。
Does anyone see her image?
I do, yes.
Is she
I do,
mute?
yes, Mr. Chair.
刘女士，请您把话筒打开。
我已经打开了。
啊，OK， 请跟听证官说我在这里。
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Logue, what is the status of things?
So we'd like to jointly request a continuance for a couple reasons. The main one being to give us more time to negotiate a settlement.
Okay. Oh, just one moment, Mr. Matt. The interpreter, would you kindly interpret everything that's being said now?
Sure. 请问律师，你们有没有达成协议？律师说有，希望能够延期，有以下几个原因。
Mr. Logue?
Yes.
Yeah, so the main reason being to jointly or to give us time to negotiate a settlement. And then we were also kind of talking past each other. My understanding is that Ms. Lau understands Cantonese a little bit better than Mandarin, and so that a Cantonese interpreter would be helpful for the next hearing date.
Okay.
第一个原因是我们需要一点时间再来协调，看看怎么样能够解决这个处罚。第二个刘女士她是对广东话比较熟练，对普通话国语比较不是那么熟练，所以下一次可以由广东话的翻译来协助沟通。
Okay. All right, thank you. So the record would note that we will continue this matter and that we will request a Cantonese interpreter for the next hearing.
好，我们现在就把这个案件延期在下一次听这个案件的时候，我们会找广东话的翻译来协助。
Thank you very much. Everybody, you excuse Ms. Lau as well as the interpreter. Thank you, Mr. Lau.
谢谢。好，刘女士，您现在可以离开这个会议了。好，谢谢。This is interpreter.
Thank you.
Are you send me the letter?
Yes, you get a letter.
And then, yeah, because I already cleaned up my bed, yeah.
Yes, yeah, you get a letter, ma'am. You will get a letter, okay?
And I will call you, Ms. Lau.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Interpreter disconnecting. Thank you for using our service. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have?
There was a request to hear case 31 followed by 32 for inspector availability.
Okay, already.
Case number 32, hearing appeal ending 3587. 1101 through 1103 Ridge Avenue, Kin Fong.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, Michelle Reinhardt for the City of Philadelphia.
Okay, Ms. Reinhardt. And who's representing, is there a counsel for the appellant? We have a Mr. Stephen List noted in the record. Is that person present?
They were on the
Seen
call.
him on the hearing.
That person.
He's muted, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I'm present.
Okay, sir, would you, for the record, put your name on the record, sir?
Yes, Stephen Liss, LISS 27805 for Mr. Fung and / or his LLC.
Okay. Is there an issue with needing an interpreter, Mr. List?
No.
Okay, thank you. All righty, what we will do, then, Ms. Reiner, you have a witness?
I do. It is Mr. Inspector Cardella.
Inspector Cardella, you present, sir?
Yes, I am.
Please raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I do.
Okay. Put your hand out. Mr. List, will you be calling you a witness at all?
I will take that under advisement now, depending on the outcome of the cross-examination.
Sure. Okay. All right. Ms. Reinhardt, please proceed.
Thank you. This is regarding 1101 Ridge Avenue for an SBN. Inspector Cardella, can you please introduce yourself for the record?
My name is Anthony Cardella. I'm a building inspector for Department of Licenses and Inspections.
And how long have you been performing this role?
10 years.
Are you familiar with 1101 Ridge Avenue?
Yes, I am.
Are you familiar? You know what? I'm going to show you what has previously been marked City Exhibit A. Board, may I please share my screen?
Yes.
Let me know when you see Exhibit A.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I see the word Exhibit A. I do not see the exhibit.
Correct. I am about to scroll.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm scrolling down to.
We'll just ask you to magnify that so that.
Okay. This is a site violation notice for 1105 Ridge Avenue, and it is dated July 28th, 2023. First of all, did I read that correctly, Inspector Cardella?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with this site violation notice?
Yes, I am.
And what is it for?
It's for the sidewalk being obstructed, completely closed off and fenced in, so pedestrian traffic would have to walk out into the street.
And I apologize, I'm trying to scroll over. There is a photograph on the right side of the violation notice. Do you recognize this photograph?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a photograph of the sidewalk all torn up and fenced off.
Ms. Reinhardt, would you mind rotating that image so that we can see it correctly?
So I actually have this as a later exhibit that we may blow up and see a little bit more clearly. I just wanted to note here that there was a photograph of it directly in the notice as well.
Okay, all right.
And Inspector, toward the bottom of the notice, does it specify the location of the violation?
Yes, it does. Ridge Avenue and 11th Street.
So just to understand, it was the sidewalk was blocked off and unable to be used on both blocks along.
Objection leading.
Can you clarify which sidewalks were?
Okay, so the violation was written for Ridge Avenue at 11th Street.
Can you clarify which sidewalks were blocked off?
Okay, well, Ridge Avenue was blocked off. It was Ridge Avenue, and then with not in that picture, but also Buttonwood Street was blocked off. But the violation was actually written just for this, Ridge Avenue.
Moving on to City Exhibit B. there are two photographs here. In the first photograph, first of all, did you take this?
Yes,
Okay. What do we see?
we see that street, that's Ridge Avenue, and you can see where the sidewalk is completely fenced in.
Fair to say that the fence appears to be on the road itself?
And, yes, it does.
Okay. Moving to the second photograph, what do we see here?
That's Buttonwood Street, and that's, again, it's fenced off with the fencing in the street. The whole sidewalk is blocked.
Okay. Moving to City Exhibit C. First, this is, I'm gonna zoom out just so that you can see the entire photograph and then can zoom in afterward. This is an aerial satellite view from Atlas. Is Atlas a city maintained public database?
Yes,
Okay. I am zooming in. Do you see the subject premises in this map dated from 2022?
no, I don't see the premises. I see the triangle, all three streets.
Okay,
That's not the new building. Is that, if that's what you're asking me?
is this the property?
Yes,
Even
that's
before the construction started?
yes.
Okay. And this is just to get a sense of what the area looked like. Going to the second page of this same exhibit, do you see the property address here as well?
Yes.
What else do you see going on in this
I
photograph?
see the new building, and I can see where the fencing is blocking off the sidewalks.
And can you tell us where that is exactly?
11th Street and Ridge Avenue.
Okay. Are you able to tell whether the fencing also blocks off Buttonwood Street as well?
Yes, on the 11th Street side, I can see that the fencing extends all the way to the street. And also the sidewalk is busted up and not passable.
Okay. And since it is a license violation, rather than a notice of violation, this is just for a 1-day violation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay, Mr. List, do you have any cross?
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you would agree that section 3306.2 states, and I quote, "A walkway shall be provided in front of every construction and demolition site." Do you agree that that is a proper resuscitation of 3306.2?
Objection. Is there a place that you can identify where?
Wait. But Miss, why are you objecting, Miss Reinhardt?
Is there a place that he's reading from? I mean,
Yes, I'm taking
code.
I'm taking it right off the site violation notice.
Okay.
Okay, so the objection is overruled. Let's proceed.
All right, sir, could you respond to my question, please?
I see in the Philadelphia Code language on the site notice violation, that is actually what is stated.
Okay, now this is a property is on an island with 3 sides. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and all sides have walkways. Is that correct?
Yes.
And only one walkway was worked on at a time. Isn't that correct?
No. That aerial view shows that that the whole sidewalk, 2 sides were fenced in, and the other side was, even though there wasn't fencing around there, wasn't passable.
So if my client would testify under oath that he only worked on one sidewalk at a time to allow people to walk on the other 2, you would disagree with that. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Do you have any photographs of the property as they exist now? They had been submitted to the court.
No.
Have you seen the property since then?
Yes.
Would you agree that it's in pristine condition?
Yes.
Objection to relevance.
But overruled. Let's continue.
All right, sir, you would agree that it's actually a jewel of the neighborhood, which is not correct? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, that I will sustain. Mr. List, that's not the issue. The issue is what was happening on the date of the violation.
Okay, sir. All right, so it's your testimony, sir, that at no time was merely one of the three sidewalks under construction. Is that correct?
I would not note that at any time it wasn't. That's not the case. At the time that I wrote the site notice violation, that was the case. And when the area review was taken, that was the case.
Okay. All right, I have no further questions at this point.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt, anything else? You have another witness?
No.
Okay. Mr. List, is your opportunity to put your
I would like-
witness on, or you want to,
I would
how you
like
want to
to
proceed?
I would like to call Qian Feng, please. And Mr. Feng's English is not very good. I would respectfully request that you just allow him to speak slowly. All right.
Absolutely. As long as he can understand us and he is comfortable communicating with us, that's fine.
Okay. Could you
Mr.
state your full?
I need to swear him in.
Okay.
Yes,
Sir, would you,
Hold on. He's going to swear you in.
so would you raise your right hand so that you may be sworn? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right. Mr. Feng, could you state your full name for the panel, please?
yes, my name is Fong. Last name Fong, Phung. The first name is Kim, Kien.
And Mr. Feng, are you the principal owner of a corporation known as Ken Feng General Contractor, Inc.?
Yes,
And sir, either individually and / or through your corporation, did you own the property known as and located at 1105 Ridge Avenue, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
yes, sir.
And during the period in question, did you undertake repairs on the sidewalk?
Yes.
All right, could you describe how many sidewalks are on the property?
The property's got, three sides of the sidewalk. One is on Ridge Avenue. The second one is on 11th Street. The third one is on Buttonwood Street.
All right, just so the panel understands, this is a three-sided property with three different sidewalks on the respective three sides. Is that correct?
Yes,
And at some point, sir, did you do a complete renovation of the property?
yes.
And sir, and this is the million-dollar question, at any one time, was any more than one of the three sidewalks blocked off?
Every each one we're doing, the each size.
Say that again?
We do every each size, for taking out, the falling. So we're doing, put a concrete dot and do another one.
Oh,
Okay.
wait a minute. I'm not understanding. So I'm sure
Talk
that
to him.
the I'm sorry, the court reporter is having difficulty as well. So just slow down and respond to your attorney's
Yes, sir.
questions
Yes, sir.
regarding whether or not the sidewalks were all being reconstructed or worked on at one time. So what did you do?
Okay, the first time, we took it out, from Ridge Avenue, and we got a fence up the whole block, and until the 11 Ridge Avenue done, and we took it out, for 11th Street, the second part, and the third part you're doing, you take it out, from the Buttonwood Street, and
Okay.
we finished the whole job for the concrete outside job.
All right, so each side, it would be done, one side would be done, and then the fence would be taken down?
Yes,
And then the second side would be
we
done?
did that. Yes,
And then the fence would be taken down?
Yes,
And
sir.
then the third side would be done, and the fence would be taken down?
yes.
At any one time, were all three of the sidewalks blocked together?
If the day the digging, they will back together.
They would what?
When you're not doing the job,
Right.
and we back them first up, a couple of hours, we remove and get home to somebody else.
Was one of those sidewalks available for pedestrian traffic at all time, at least one of them?
One is on every time, yes.
Okay. And tell us about Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
There have been photographs submitted to the panel at least 3 days prior showing the present condition of the property. Does the court have access to those pictures?
Do you want to present them as your exhibits?
Yes.
Okay, well, you may do that.
Okay.
Keep in mind that we're focused on the date of the violation. This is a site violation notice.
I understand that. I understand that. In that case, sir, I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt, any cross?
Just briefly, so it is your testimony that from time to time you did close at least one portion of a sidewalk during construction? I'm
Yes,
sorry, can you verbalize?
yes,
Okay. And did you have a license or permit in order to close any section of the sidewalk?
no.
Okay, no further questions.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Miss Reinhardt, you put up as an exhibit a picture, an aerial picture of the property, I think when it was under construction.
Yes,
Could you put that exhibit back up again, please?
yes.
I don't think that's it.
Is it this one? You said the aerial view, or did you want the side view?
Miss Reinhardt, it's a picture of a frog.
No, I think we saw pictures of the street and the condition of the sidewalk. There was a picture that you had two aerial view pictures. One before construction, before perhaps Mr. Fang owned it, and that's the picture.
Okay.
Could you expand that at all? I don't know. Bring it in a little closer. Okay.
Does
Thank-
that help?
Okay. Thank you.
Is there a question, Mr. Pincus?
No, I just wanted to look at the picture. I wanted to it looks from the picture that there's a sidewalk torn up on Ridge Avenue and there's a sidewalk screened off on North 11th Street.
Okay.
From this photograph. That's
if you
that's
would
my
keep-
observation.
Okay, if you would keep that up there, Mr. Fung, is that clear? Are we seeing the fencing and those two sidewalks being fenced in at the same time?
No, when the timing, we're taking, the street, they will box up for about, 4 to 5 hours. And after that, we move,
Okay, so
yes,
from 4 to 4.5 hours, the fence was up, blocking the sidewalk.
yes,
But multiple sidewalks, not just one.
mobile small.
Well, he said yes, 2 sidewalks.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
sidewalks.
Okay, and you are aware that if you close one sidewalk, you're required to have a permit and provide protected walkway for the residents, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Is there anything else from anyone? If not, we'll call for the vote. Is there any closing arguments from Mr. List or Ms. Reinhardt?
Just briefly.
Yeah, Mr. List, do you have anything?
No, just to add that and I know the panel is going to take the position that it is not relevant, but this project was done in complete good faith. My client indicated that in his job, he only closed one of the sidewalks at a time. Apparently, the city came by, somebody else closed the other one for 4 or 5 hours to pour concrete, and then it was removed. I would argue that there's substantial compliance with the code requirements that a sidewalk remain unhindered.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Reinhardt?
Mr. Chairman, can you take the picture down?
Oh,
Ms.
yes.
Reinhardt?
Ms. Reinhardt, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Ri-
It is the city's position that it is a violation to close even one sidewalk without a sidewalk closure permit. While the photograph showed multiple sidewalks closed at a time, it was the property owner's testimony that he did in fact close at least one sidewalk without a proper permit in order to do so. So we request city affirm.
Okay, thank you very much. If there's nothing else, we will poll the board on HA-2023-003587, 1101-1103 Ridge Avenue, Ken Fung, City affirm.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed. City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Yep.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would just request clarification. Apparently, there were 2 different violations given to Mr. Fung. I think they're duplicative at best. There were two $2,000 fines. I would say that.
Ms. Reinhardt, can you bring any clarity to that?
I looked into the one that was appealed today. There was only one that I saw that was appealed today. Mr. List, are you able to clarify whether the second one was from a different date?
I'm not sure. I just know that Mr. Funk told me there were, I believe it probably was.
Okay, well, let's do this. We're in the middle of rendering our decision on this appeal. If there are other appeals, Mr. List, I suggest you call Ms. Reinhardt and work that out. Okay?
Thank you.
All righty. So the vote is unanimous, city affirmed. Thank you very much. And of course, Mr. List, you have the right to appeal our decision should you choose to do that.
I understand that. May I give Ms. Reinhardt the two case numbers?
Would you call her and do it off the record so that
Okay,
we can
fine.
work
Ms.
this out?
Reinhardt, can you give me a contact information, please?
You're muted, Ms. Reinhardt.
You have my email. I think that should be the fastest way to.
I don't have it. May I have it again, please? I'm sorry.
I will email you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we have next?
That's it. You're done.
Case number 39.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
this is Ken Washington.
Yes.
May I have a break?
Yeah, yes, sir.
I just sit out the next hearing.
Yes, sir.
And now I'll come back.
Yes, understood.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, number 33, is that
Case number 31.
31? Okay.
Hearing appeal ending 1468, 5663 Pentridge, Jaleel Harlan.
Jaleel Harlan? Parlin. Okay, Jaleel Parlin. Okay, thank you. Alrighty, who's representing the city in this matter?
Good afternoon, Michelle Reinhardt for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, Mr. Reinhardt, do you have any witnesses?
I do. The inspector is going to be Inspector Herbert.
Okay, is Inspector Herbert present?
I did see him on the screen earlier.
I see his name, but I don't see his image. But while you're trying to connect with him, let's call counsel for the appellate. I believe that's Mr. Lopez Thompson. Is that correct?
That is correct. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Thompson. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good. We do have a preliminary matter. Ms. Reinhardt, I believe, has raised the issue of whether or not there was communication between yourself and Ms. Reinhardt. Has that been resolved, Ms. Reinhardt?
It has, but that will be my request for continuance because I just received the emails about a half an hour ago. I can't open them up, so therefore it's going to be difficult for me to prepare. And we don't know what happened in regards to me receiving them because the email addresses are correct. But when Ms. Reinhardt broke them down and sent them over, I did receive them within the last half an hour. And you know, in fairness to my client, I'd like to have an opportunity to review them.
Okay, so Mr. Thompson, the communications from Ms. Reinhardt or other individuals in the appeals office, you did not receive any of that?
I haven't received anything in regards to the A to C exhibit, D to, I think it was F. I'm just receiving them within the last half an hour, and Ms. Reinhardt is aware of that.
Okay, Ms. Reinhardt, and you're in response before we decide what to do in this?
So first of all, the only additional exhibits that are different from those in the first hearing are photographs after the building was demolished. At the initial listing of this, there was some confusion that council believed that he was here for a bill for the tax review board and was here in order to argue about the demolition itself. So I don't think that there's a surprise that the building was demolished. And this is the first that I'm hearing that there's any difficulty in attempts in opening the photographs. So I'm not sure the basis of any potential prejudice.
Well, I can't open the entire PDF that you sent me, either the two emails that I received within the last half an hour. I can't open up the PDFs to see what's on them. So
You're saying you can't open either of them?
neither one. And it may not be, it's just I can't open up. I do have, it, the headings, exhibits A to C, and then I believe D to F, but I cannot open them up.
Candidly, I'm
Okay.
not sure how to resolve this, even if there was a continuance, because I think council just also confirmed that the email that it was sent to was correct.
Yes, but, and not to put this in front of the board, but you had indicated that you sent it over the weekend, and in your email, you indicated that it was bouncing back to you. But it is the correct email, and I'm just receiving it, I guess, because you broke it down. So
Okay. The issue is that is it potentially that the size of the email communication prevented transmission?
probably so, yes.
I'm asking Miss Reinhardt, was there a bulk transmission third party site you use for that kind of stuff?
So when the size is the issue, there is an error message that indicates that's the case. That's not the error message that I got here.
Okay.
The error message was just cannot be delivered to this email address. So
And I also, I'm sorry. I also checked with Mr. Parlin, and he's IT savvy, and he indicated that on Friday he didn't receive anything either. So I don't know what's going on. I'm not blaming you, Ms. Reinhardt, but I'm just saying that we both have.
Okay. Well, is this is the second or third listing of this matter?
It is.
It appears to be the second.
Third.
The third. This is the third listing.
Yes.
So, Mr. Thompson, what is it that you don't have that you would need to fairly represent your client?
Okay, if whatever Ms. Reinhardt sent to the board, and I don't know if the board has it, I would like to see it if it's going to be presented today.
Okay.
That's my whole problem. I would like to see it, and it's it's no dispute that I haven't received it until maybe 20 minutes ago. That's no dispute. I'd like to see it, whatever it is that will be presented to the board today.
Okay. Now, Mr. Thompson, what is it that you're doing to ensure that you, in fact, will be able to open the city's file this afternoon or tomorrow?
If I can have Ms. Reinhardt send it to my paralegal, and maybe she can.
What if we did that and we call this case before we finish today? Take a look at it.
Okay.
Let's do that, because I'm reluctant to list this again. We've been at this is the third bite of the apple. I'm not willing to do that lightly. So, if you give Miss Reinhardt a different email address, Miss Reinhardt, forward the information to that email address, and then we will call this at the end of today's session before we finish today.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
May I ask a question? I believe I heard Ms. Reinhardt say that other than the one picture that shows the demolition of the property, all of the other photographs were previously submitted as exhibits. Is that correct, Ms. Reinhardt?
I believe.
Now,
And
Ms.
if they were
Reinhardt, please. Yeah.
previously submitted, were they available to Mr. Lee?
No, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Lopez
Thompson, did he receive them on an earlier date? So this is a resubmission of materials that were previously provided?
So the majority of the city's exhibits are the same as they were at a prior listing. I believe it is only the photographs of the demolition, or rather after the demolition, that were added. But I need to confirm that for sure. Those were sent previously to appellant before he retained counsel. I believe that they were forwarded to counsel as well during the first listing of this case.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. Ms. Reinhardt will send it to Mr. Thompson's paralegal. So, Mr. Thompson, if you would in the chat,
They
give us
can
that
go
address.
back into the breakout room.
Yeah, we'll put you in the breakout room, exchange information. We will make this the last case we call.
Oh, I don't want to be the last case.
Well, that's your option.
Okay.
I believe the city's witness is available until 4 o'clock.
Okay, we'll call it before 4 o'clock.
Thank you.
Give you enough
both have
time.
Room 6.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
There was one other, there was a request to call case, we don't have that many cases left, but there was a request to call case 49.
Okay, let's call that one.
Case number 49, hearing appeal ending 4149, 3700 Aspen Street. Bobby Graham.
Good afternoon, Thomas Guiuzza for the city.
Good afternoon. Is anyone here representing Bobby Brom?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I just want to let you know I am back.
Okay, thank you. So noted. The 3700 Aspen Street. Is anyone present representing that address? Anyone present? Bobby Brum, I may be pronouncing it incorrectly. Braham. Anyone present?
I believe it's Graham, I'm sorry.
Oh, Graham.
I
Okay.
believe it's a typo on the thing.
Okay.
The appeal states Graham.
Bobby Graham, 3700 Aspen Street. Anyone present? Okay. Mr. Wade, what's the service?
Sir, Mr. Graham listed 3700 Aspen Street as his mailing address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 3700 Aspen Street on July 17th, 2024.
Okay.
In the waiting room under this name.
Okay.
Excuse me, this is Board Counsel Ryan McSherry. Mr. Wade, what was the name? How was the name spelt on the notice? I just wanted to see if it was spelt with the B or G.
The notice, the name on the appeal is spelt with a G. The notice on the violation in order to correct is spelt with a G, and the notice on the notice to appear was also spelled with a G.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay. So for the city, Mr. Galuzza, what is your preference?
We would request a city affirm for failure to appear.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Everyone is saying it's spelled with a G.
Yes.
Mine is spelled with a B.
Where do you see that?
Are we looking at number 49?
Yes, that's on the list itself. That's where the mistake occurred on the list. But
On
all
the
the
list?
but all the communication based on Mr. Wade's testimony were addressed to Mr. Graham with a G.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Already? Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
2:54 p.m.
2:54 p.m. Already. We'll then poll the board on HA 2023-004-149 3700 Aspen Street. Bobby Graham. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. That matter is resolved.
Thank you, members of the board. May I be excused as well as the inspector on that matter?
Yes,
Mr. David Elizio.
Yes, Mr. Galitza, you're excused as well as the inspector. Ms. Penn?
Yes, I just wanted to point out I think he's just taking care of it. Okay. Mr. Thompson and Ms. Reinhardt and Mr. Parlin were still on the screen.
Oh, okay.
So I guess they've gone to the breakout room now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Wade, what is our next request?
If I may, I still do not have an opportunity to get into a breakout room.
You should have 6 available.
Okay.
You see it?
No.
Okay, hold on. I'll give you a different room.
All right.
And Mr. Parlin is still on, even though he's not visible, his name is still on the screen.
So is Mr. Thompson was too.
They just went to room 3. I'll give Mr. Parlin room 3 as well. All right, we can go back up to the top now.
Okay.
Alrighty. Case number 16. Hearing appeal ending 3826, 7278 Leonard Street. Luba Storozenko.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Will Fernandez for the city of Philadelphia.
Afternoon. And who's representing the appellant? Luba Storozenko. Anyone present representing Luba Storozenko? 7278 Leonard Street. Anyone present? Okay, Mr. Wade, if you would determine service.
Mr. Storozenko listed 7278 Leonard Street as mailing address. Notice of this hearing was sent to 7278 Leonard Street on July 17th, 2024.
Okay, thank you very much. Your preference, Mr. Fernandez?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Hearing no response to the call of the appeal, I would ask that this be disposed of as city affirmed for lack of appearance.
Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
2:56 p.m.
2:56 p.m. Thank you. We will poll the board on HA-2023-003-826 7278 Leonard Street, Luba Storozenko. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Thank you very much. That matter is resolved.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Yes, sir. You excuse unless you have other matters before us as well as your witness.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we do next?
Case number 33. Hearing
Okay.
appeal ending 3539 2169 66th Avenue. Brittany Jones and Christopher Jones.
Okay. All righty. Who's representing the city? Who's representing the city in this matter?
It could be Miss Reinhardt.
You're probably right.
Uh,
Okay, let's do this. No one's responding, so let's do this so that we don't hold things up any longer than we have to.
It's not. I don't have Mrs. Reinhardt. I have Amy as the attorney.
Oh, Amy Skiles. Okay, can someone on the city side help me out here? Help us out. Who's present?
Hi, I've sent a message to Ms. Skiles to try and clear this up.
Okay.
Was listed on the list as the attorney for this case. I'll let you know when I figure out.
Okay, so let's move on to another matter if we can. While they're trying to resolve that, we'll just the Joneses. We're going to have to put you on hold just for a little while longer because the city attorney has not appeared. So just hold on, be a little patient with us. We'll get back to you. Okay, Mr. Wade.
The only other matters I believe that are outstanding are cases 40, 41, 42, and 43.
Okay.
Case 40, appeal ending 4130 2215 North 10th, Kasim Ricks. Case 41, appeal ending 4131, same address, 2215 North 10th Street, same appellant, Kasim Ricks. Case 42, appeal ending 4133, 2215 North 10th Street, same appellant, Kasim Ricks. And 43, appeal ending 4134, 2215 North 10th Street, Kasim Ricks.
Okay. Who's representing the city in these matters?
Yeah, this is Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay. All right, Mr. Johnson. Mr. Kasim Ricks, are you present? Kasim Ricks, are you present? Anyone present representing the interests of 2215 North 10th Street? Okay. Mr. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
On each appeal, on each of the 4 appeals, Mr. Ricks listed 900 Easton Avenue, number 26199 in Somerset, New Jersey. For matter 1, notice of this hearing was sent to that address on July 17th, 2024. For matter 2, notice was sent to that same address on July 17th, 2024. For matter 3, notice was sent to that address on July 17th. And for the 4th matter, notice was sent to that address on July 17th, 2024.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Johnson, what is your preference?
The city is requesting that all 4 of these marked as city affirmed failure to appear.
Okay. All right. Thank you. This is what we will do. We'll call each matter separately. And so Mr. Pincus, I just need 4 separate times from you. And we're going to start with number 40. And give us
3:01 p.m.
3:01 p.m. Just one moment. We will poll the board on HA 2023-004130-2215 North 10th Street, Kasim Ricks, city affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Affirm for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, number 42. What time do you have, Mr. Pincus? 41, my apologies.
3:02 p.m.
3:02 p.m. Thank you. We will poll the board regarding HA 2023-004131-2215 North 10th Street, Kasim Ricks. City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Okay. My
Mr.
apologies, my
Tennant?
phone rang. So who's next?
Mr. Tennant?
I voted.
Okay, Mr. Tennant.
Okay, great. Thank you. I didn't hear Mr. Pettit. Thank you. City affirmed non-appearance.
Affirm for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir. Mr. Pettit, did you have a question?
Dropped off.
Okay. I
Mr.
know
Chair, I
that
do have a question. In reference to number 41, what was the time on that?
the time on that was 3:01. Okay, I know Mr. Pettit did advise me earlier that he had to may need to step away for a moment. So let's assume that's happened in this instance.
I
So
have
let's
302 for number 41.
That is correct. That's what I have. That's fine. Question.
3:02. You're right. I was incorrect. Number 40 was 3:01. My apologies.
Thank you.
Okay, number 42, HA-2023-004133-2215 North 10th Street, Kasim Ricks. What time do we have, Mr. Pincus?
3:03 p.m.
3:03 p.m. City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
Affirm for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
Affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to number 43. What time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
3:04 p.m.
3:04 p.m. We will pull the board on HA-2023-004134-2215 North 10th Street, Kasim Ricks. City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
Affirm for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if Mr. Washington, you're muted. You didn't vote?
Yes, city affirmed, non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay. All righty, Mr. Wade, which matters are outstanding?
The final two matters are 31 and 33.
And 31, the parties are in breakout conference. Do we know if Ms. Reinhardt is responsible for 33?
No, I
Ms.
believe
Skiles
maybe
appeared.
Skiles, is she present, Mr. Johnson?
I believe so.
Okay, well, let's call that matter then.
Oh. This is matter 30. This is matter 33, hearing appeal on 3539, 2169 66th Avenue, Brittany and Christopher Jones.
Okay. Ms. Skiles, are you representing the city in that matter?
Yes, good afternoon. Amy Skiles on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, thank you very much. Ms. Skiles, do you have a witness for today?
I apologize. This was continued from a previous date. I was not aware it was on today's list. I don't see my witness. Oh, yes, I see Inspector Williams. here now. So if you just give me a brief few minutes, I'll be prepared to go.
Okay, I just want to know if the appellants are present. The Brittany Jones and Christopher Jones.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I will ask each of you to raise your hand so that you may be sworn, and then we'll decide which of you will be the spokesperson. Mr. Christopher Jones, raise your right hand so that you may be sworn.
I affirm.
I didn't ask you yet to follow me, so would you raise your right hand so that I can put the question to you? Your right hand. Okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Mr. Jones, I noticed it appears that you're in a vehicle. Are you parked?
Yes.
Okay, because we can't hear you or allow you to testify if you're not parked in a safe place. Okay, Miss Brittany Jones, would you raise your right hand?
Yes.
Did you raise your right hand, ma'am, so that we can minister the oath? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, Miss Skiles, let me know when you're ready.
I am ready to proceed. And I
Okay.
do have one witness. It's Inspector Anthony Williams.
Okay, Mr. Williams, are you present? Make yourself known to the panel.
Here.
Okay, raise your right hand, sir, so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can place your hand down. Okay, Miss Skiles.
Okay. Inspector Williams, where are you currently employed?
Code enforcement, license and inspections.
And what are some of your roles and responsibilities with the Department of License and Inspections?
Answering complaints and doing inspections with regards to code compliance for property maintenance and fire safety.
Okay. And throughout the course of your duties with the department, have you become familiar with the property located at 2169 66th Avenue?
Yes.
And how have you become familiar with that property?
Well, I was answering a complaint with regards to the property, and I did an inspection of the first floor of the two uses that were there for that property.
Okay. So you mentioned, okay. So what is the building currently being used for?
Well, at the time of inspection, the first that initial inspection, it was a daycare that was on the front part of the first floor and a juice bar that was on the second, that was in the rear.
Okay. And is the property currently do they have zoning approvals to be used as a daycare and a juice bar?
No, not at the time.
Okay. Do they currently have those zoning approvals?
No, they have not been obtained
They
yet.
have not. Okay. So as a result of your inspection, you issued a notice of violation?
Yes.
Okay. And now with the board's permission, I will share my screen.
Okay, please.
Okay, Inspector Williams, let me know when you see my screen.
I see it.
Okay. Can you tell me, do you recognize the document that's labeled City Exhibit 1?
Yes.
And what is this document?
Our violation notice in order to correct.
Okay. And what violations did you cite in this NOV?
To obtain zoning for the current use and obtain a certificate of occupancy for the current use.
Okay. So you would need a use registration permit and a certificate of occupancy.
Yes.
And as you noted, you observed this location being operated as a daycare and a juice bar.
Yes.
Okay. And did you, just to confirm, showing you City Exhibit 2, can you identify what is depicted in this photograph?
Well, that's the whole building.
Okay.
The front part where the red door is was where the daycare is, and
Okay.
where the roll down gate was where the juice bar was.
Okay. And currently, what kind of base district does this property sit in?
Looks like residential single family.
Okay, so this property should be used as a residential single family building?
Yes, but there was previous zoning before there for a barber shop and a check cashing place.
Okay, so at this point, is the only permitted use of this building a barber shop and a check cashing location?
Yes, that was the last approved use.
That was the last approved use. Okay. And so moving on to City Exhibit 4, during your inspection, were you able to take some interior photographs?
Yes, a few.
Okay. And so what are we looking at in this photograph?
That's the interior of what was the juice bar.
Okay.
Um,
And this, it appears to be a menu. Is that what you observed when you were there?
yes,
Okay. And then what are we looking at in this photograph?
that is the interior of the daycare area.
Okay. And in this photograph?
Same, the daycare area as well.
Okay. And then finally, this is just another photograph of the exterior?
Yes.
Okay. And so based on this location operating with the appropriate certificate of occupancy and use registration permit, did you issue a cease operations order?
And I issued an intent to cease.
An intent to cease. Okay. So showing you as City Exhibit 5, is this that intent to cease?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And did did you ever move forward with the cease on this property?
No, because the appeal was placed. So
Okay.
put a hold on
Okay.
it.
So what is needed, I guess, so you said the only approved uses right now are a barber shop and a check cashing location. What would be needed in order to operate this facility as a daycare and a juice shop?
Well, they would need the current zoning would need to explain what the current use is. So we need to match the current use, and they would need a certificate of occupancy for that.
Okay. And as we sit here today, I believe you've already testified the use registration permit has not been issued.
It has not been obtained yet.
It has not been obtained. And a certificate of occupancy, has that been issued to this property to be used as a daycare and a juice bar?
Not for that use, no.
Okay. And their certificate of occupancy ensures that the building is safe to be occupied in that capacity.
Yes, that is correct.
So without it, we don't know if this building is safe to be used as a daycare or a juice bar.
Yes, on the first floor, in addition to all the other uses on the other floors, but I only inspected the first floor.
Okay, I understand. Okay. I have no further questions for Inspector Williams. I offer for cross.
Okay, now before we proceed, I need to hear from the Joneses as to who will be the spokesperson. So is that Mr. Christopher Jones or Miss Brittany Jones? Who will be the
Mr.
spokesperson?
Jones.
Okay, Mr. Jones, do you have any cross-examination questions for the inspector?
Yes.
Okay, please proceed.
I want to ask the gentleman what gave him the impression that it was a daycare? Did he see any children?
Okay, we'll have a response from the inspector, Mr. Williams.
At the time it was set up, and then my conversations with the I believe it is Miss Jones. She said
No, you didn't talk to Miss Jones.
Wait, Mr. Jones, you can't. You asked him a question, he has to be able to respond to you. You can follow up with additional questions if you like, but let him respond to you, okay? Please respond, Mr. Williams.
With the response from Ms. Jones, because the first time I tried to attempt the inspection, I was told that the daycare was on a trip. And then the next time when I actually did walk through, I was told that they were out for the day. So, I've been there multiple times, and both times the persons that I spoke to said that it was a daycare.
Okay, any additional questions?
Yes. So basically, you wasn't able to determine if it was really a daycare or not.
Did I see kids? No.
I'm saying, far as in terms of you presenting proof to this board today that it was a daycare. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, well, I didn't see a kid, but I saw all the setup of it being a daycare establishment.
So, oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
In addition to two people confirming that it's a daycare.
So I want to ask you, so it being set up, could it have not been set up for my children? Because I have a lot of children.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you can present that information yourself when it's your turn to put your case on. But he's basically telling you what he saw and how.
I asked the
decision.
question though. I just asked him a question. Board.
I'm the referee, and I'm asking you. You made you asked the question. He responded. Do you have any additional questions?
In terms of the juice bar, did you buy something from the juice bar?
No.
Okay. So are you saying with signs and
yes.
Are you saying with sign that's that board on the wall?
Yes.
Okay. And outside, was there any signs like saying this is a juice bar or this is a daycare?
Nope.
Okay. And one more question. And currently, have you been back by the property?
I have not been inside the property since August of 2023.
Okay. That's all I got for the witness.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Giles, any additional witnesses?
No additional witnesses. I would just ask to move the city exhibits into the record.
So noted. Okay. All right. Mr. Jones, you may present your case.
Yes, I just want to say, the gentleman, nobody ever purchased anything. Nobody, there was no children, which I do have a lot of children. There was no children to even to say that this was a daycare. And currently, the building itself is somebody lives in the building currently. So there's no daycare there. There's nothing going on in that building right now other than somebody living there.
Okay. Do you have any other information you want to give the board?
No.
Okay. Does anyone else have any questions of Mr. Jones or the inspector? Okay.
I have a question, if I may.
Yeah, well, you know what? I skipped a step. Ms. Giles, do you have any cross-examination?
No cross-examination.
Okay. All right. Mr. Pincus?
I'm just trying to check. Is there a pending application for a zoning appeal involving this property, Mr. Jones?
That part my wife would have to but here's the thing.
Okay, well, let's get her to respond then. Miss Brittany Jones, do you have a response to Mr. Pincus' question? You muted at the moment, ma'am.
What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Is there an application pending with the Philadelphia Zoning Board of Adjustment of an appeal for a use as a daycare center and a juice bar?
As of this current date, no.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, please.
This could be directed to either Mr. Jones or Mrs. Jones. When is someone living on the first floor using the first floor as a residential premises?
No, someone's living on the second floor. Other than the second floor, the first floor is shut down. Nothing's going on there.
Okay, so all of the tables and signage that we did see in the photographs, all of that has been removed from the property?
Yes, the whole the downstairs has been totally cleaned out.
And when was there someone living on the second floor at the time of the initial inspection, which would have been August of 2023?
No.
And when did
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I gotta look back at my what date they moved in.
Okay.
At the lease.
So the person who moved in, is that your tenant?
Is it my tenant?
Yes.
I'm actually no. I'm actually fighting with the city right now to get rid of this person because it's a squatter. But that's not a matter for this
Well, just for clarification.
this court.
Yeah, well, actually, it can be because you're indicating that the evidence presented by the city is contradicted by what you said is happening in the building now. So my question then would be, have you filed a complaint in ejectment?
Yeah, I've talked to the police, and I've talked to I got a lawyer on it right now.
Okay, thank you very much,
For
Mr.
the second floor.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Anyone else have any questions? If not, Mr. Jones, at the time of the inspections in 2023, how was the first floor being used?
You said how was the first floor being used?
Yes.
We had intentions on doing some things, but once the man came out, we shut all intentions down.
Okay, so is it your
But
testimony?
hear me clearly. There was no I've never sold anything, and I've never had a child that wasn't mine there.
Okay, so is it your testimony that you never utilized the property on the first floor as a juice bar or a daycare?
Yes.
Okay. Alrighty. And I guess I have a question for the inspector. Sir, in your review of the records for this location, was there any applications for a juice bar or other kind of commercial activity at that location?
I believe there was an application put in, but it was after I spoken to someone, and they put it in later and tried to apply for it.
What was applied for?
I think for the daycare on the first floor.
Is that something you can affirmatively, can you confirm that? Is there a way for you to look at the record? Ms. Skiles, I'm not sure how you want to probe that.
If I may
Yes.
provide the board an offer of proof.
Yes.
In August 13th of 2023, there was an application for a zoning permit, ZP 2023-008671, for a change of use, and the work description does note to change the use from check cashing, PA state lottery, sale of water, ice, and pretzels, to a juice bar in the rear and a commercial daycare in the front. And it does cite this violation in the application as well.
So what was the outcome? Was that process, Ms. Skiles?
It was, let's see. The first review cycle failed last August of 2023. There were, it looks like there were revisions submitted, and then it looks like that was eventually denied in October of 2023.
Okay, and whose name is on the application?
It's an expediter. An expediter's name.
Okay. Okay, all right, thank you.
Well, wait, Mr. Chairman, if it was denied in October of 23, then the normal procedure, if I'm correct, Ms. Skiles, would be to file an appeal to the zoning board within 30 days.
And it doesn't look from the record that that was done.
Okay. Mr. Jones or Mrs. Jones, did you file an appeal to the zoning board of adjustment?
No, there was no need to file anything because we decided not to even use the location for that
Okay.
use.
Okay, so you decided not to.
We actually are doing business somewhere else now.
Okay, but that's what we needed to hear, that you made a conscious decision not to follow through on the zoning application.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Anything else from anyone? Okay, I do need to have a short executive session with the board before we vote on this matter. Ms. Skiles, do you have any final argument?
Yes, just briefly.
Yes.
I would just, the city's requesting a city affirm of the violation and intent to cease today. This notice of violation was issued August 9th of 2023. And based on Inspector Williams's testimony and photographs that were presented, I think it is clear that that violation was issued correctly, that at the time the violation was written, this location was being used as a daycare and a juice bar. We saw photographs of the menu. Inspector Williams confirmed with an individual on the site that this location was being used as a daycare. And it's further confirmed by the August 13th application, zoning application to change the use in response to the NOV. So I would be asking for a city affirm on the notice of violation. I'd also be asking for a city affirm on the intent to cease. At this time, we're not aware that the violations are complied. If Mr. and Mrs. Jones want to arrange for an interior inspection and those uses are not continuing, that a cease may not be necessary, but that can't be determined without that inspection. So today we are asking for a city affirm on both the notice of violation and the intent to cease.
Okay, thank you. We're going to take a short, go off the record for a short minute and take an executive session. We'll be back shortly. I just want to, we do have a follow-up question for the inspector. Okay. It's the inspector. Oh, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, when you inspected the property, did you gain access to the juice bar area?
Yes.
How did you gain access?
I walked through the door and there were a couple ladies there, and I talked to them and took the pictures and I left back out.
Were they set up for operation at that time when you walked in?
Were they operating? I don't know if they were serving at the time. No.
When I say set up, meaning there was a cash register, there were product and equipment, etc., on the shelves?
Well, it was like a little digital thing. It wasn't a cash register per se, but it was like a little digital thing, and then they had the signage and everything like that.
Okay, you said juice bar. So were there examples of juice that was available or material to prepare beverages?
There was a little area. I didn't see, per se, like everything that was there. And there when there was two ladies there, and I just asked them what this was, what's happening there at that in this area, and that's how I got my confirmation.
Okay, and you just went into the door was unlocked, you just gained entry. There was no need for someone to provide entry.
No, I mean the door was open. I just walked in and there were three ladies sitting right there, and I just established a conversation with them and asked them what's going on, identified myself and what I was there for.
Okay, and how did you gain access to the daycare space?
The same way.
The same ladies?
The first time I came, I reached out, and I believe the operator of the daycare was, she said that they were at an amusement park that day.
Okay.
So the second time I came, I gained access. One of the young ladies that was, I believe, working, I don't know, was there, led me around and allowed me to take pictures.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. If there's nothing else from anyone, just one moment. Okay, we will then poll the board regarding HA-2023-003-539-2169 66th Avenue, Brittany Jones and Christopher Jones. City affirmed.
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 City affirmed. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you've lost your appeal. You may appeal our decision. If you need information as to how to do that, check with the administrator. That number will be on the communication that you receive from us in the mail. Thank you very much for your participation and have a good afternoon. Okay, Mr. Wade, what do we do? Mr. Wade, I think we have a availability matter, don't we, at 4 o'clock?
I believe I do want to just reach out to we can call that matter next. I believe
Yes.
they're in the breakout room.
Okay.
Touch base with Luba Sturzenko.
Oh yeah, but I don't want to lose the inspector. That's why I'm asking the
Okay.
question. So let's do that.
The case is going to be called next. All
Okay.
right.
Excuse me. I might have missed the call.
Your case was marked as moot. I sent you a message. It's moot.
What does that mean?
Well, sir, were you here when we opened the hearing today?
Yes, I was.
Did you hear my explanation as if you don't understand it, call the number that's on your decision, not to break in while we're having a hearing?
I had no other ways. Thank you.
Okay, on that letter, there's a number, so call the office. They will explain what moot means.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Recalling case number 31, hearing appeal ending 1468, 5663 Pentridge Street, Jaleel Parlin.
Okay. All righty. Ms. Reinhardt?
Good afternoon. This is Michelle Reinhardt for the City of Philadelphia.
Okay. Mr. Lopez Thompson, what did we any come to understanding of where we now?
I've had an opportunity to review the exhibits and we're ready to go.
Okay, thank you very much. All righty. Ms. Reinhardt, you have a witness?
The city's witness is Inspector Herbert.
Okay, Inspector Herbert, are you present?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Okay, raise your right hand so that you may be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you give today be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, thank you. All right, you place your hand down, Ms. Reinhardt.
It was unclear whether Mr. Thompson also had someone who was going to testify that needed to be sworn.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, do you have a witness?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Inspector Herbert, can you please introduce yourself for the record?
My name is Inspector Michael Herbert. I work for License and Inspection, the Vacant and Vending Department.
Are you familiar with the property at 5663 Pentridge Street in Philadelphia?
Yes, I am.
I'm going to show you what has been previously marked City Exhibit A. I am in the process of sharing that. Please let me know when you see a page that just says Exhibit A on your screen.
I do.
Okay. I'm showing you a violation notice and order to correct dated February 9th, 2022 to this property address. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, you did.
Would you magnify that a bit, Ms. Reinhardt?
Yes. Is that good?
Yes.
Okay. Inspector, did you write this notice of violation?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Can you tell us what violations you found at this property?
At the time of the inspection, the property was in a blight condition where the windows were either non-existent or either boarded up.
Okay.
It also, well, it was also trash strewed about and weeds growing along. It's the end of the row property, so you know you had exposed front, exposed back, and exposed side.
Were there any missing windows and doors on the property?
Yes. In the violation, I wrote it for 14 windows and 3 doors.
Okay. And it looks like on the second page of the notice of violation, you also noted concerns regarding downspouts, porch roof, pointing. Can you tell us what these refer to?
These are basic repairs to appendages when you have it on the house. So if you have a porch, it has a roof, it has capping, and it has downspouts. One is to catch the water, and the downspouts go down to the storm drains. The other parts of the porch would be the porch ceiling, the porch floor, walls if it's enclosed. And then the pointing is the masonry joints between the bricks that needs to be sealed. It's when it started to oxidize and deteriorate, it needs to be maintained and repointed.
Okay. And you found deterioration in each of these?
Yes, in all those areas that I noted, it was obvious signs that it was in disrepair.
Okay, I am moving to there's a second notice of violation that is also in Exhibit A. This one is dated February 28th, 2023. This is for the same property, same violations noted, but it's sent to a different property address. Is that fair to say?
I can't really see. Is it sent to 5663 Pentridge?
This one is.
This one is, okay, yeah, okay,
Okay.
I agree.
I am moving down to what has been pre-marked City Exhibit B and zooming out. This is a collection of 5 photographs from the initial inspection. Did you take these photographs?
Yes, I did.
What do we see here in the first?
What you see is overgrowth in the front, trash on the front lawn. You see boarded up windows from the basement, first floor, and actually boarded up, or this is basically sheet metal on the second floor windows, and you see deterioration of the porch floor, porch ceiling, and no downspouts. Where is it? Is that a downspout?
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving to the second photograph, this is a slightly different angle of both the front and the side of the building.
Yes.
Okay. Are there any additional violations that you see here?
Well, the violations would continue to the side of the building where there was boarded up doors on the side, and deterioration in the brick pointing and so forth around the side of the building.
Moving to the third photograph, is this the side of the building?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Noting additional either broken or missing windows as well.
Yeah, all of those were itemized in the initial violation for windows and doors.
Okay. Is this the rear part of the side of the building?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And the, if I'm counting correctly, last photograph of Exhibit B, is this the rear of the property?
Yeah, so rear, it's a rear, I think it's like a porch or a deck there, and as you can see, the windows are boarded up. And you might note that right across the street is a elementary school.
Thank you for putting that in context. Now, was there work done to this property to address, by the city specifically, to address the trash and weeds?
Yes, it was. I believe that I sent out clean and seal to abate the property, cut the grass, and clean up the trash, at least on more than one occasion.
Okay. Moving to City Exhibit C, this is a collection of photographs as well. Zooming in a little bit. These are photographs, before and after pictures of work done by the city.
Objection.
But what's the objection?
Well, counsel is giving testimony here. If the witness is going to tell what, you know.
Okay, let's do this then. I will sustain your objection and ask Ms. Reinhardt to restate her question.
Inspector, what are these photographs in City Exhibit C of?
On the property at the property in question, in an overgrowth state, still with trash and debris on the lawn. You can barely see them because of the overgrowth.
Okay. Are the collection of photographs in City Exhibit C before and after pictures of work that the city did?
Yes, I would initiate the enforcement action upon seeing a property like this.
Okay. This is dated 5/20/22, and I think you just said that this is in a state of overgrowth.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving to the side, the second photograph. What's this depict?
That's the pavement. That's the walkway.
Can you tell us whether this would be a before or after photograph of
I'm not sure if it would be a before or after photograph. It is clean. But if I had a picture that showed it what it looked like before, then but I don't see it.
Okay. Moving to the third photograph, what do we see in this photograph?
Okay, that would be an after photograph. That's after it was serviced by clean and seal.
Okay. And showing vegetation cut?
Yes.
Okay. Moving to City Exhibit D, is this also a collection of before and after photographs of work done for trash and weeds?
Can you scroll up a little more so I can see the scroll up a little bit more so I can see the bottom of the photograph. Okay, so that would have been a before picture. These are before pictures. The graffiti on the wall would have been before.
Okay. Moving to City Exhibit E. Are we looking at before and after photographs as well? Let me see. I'm gonna go up to the first photograph in City Exhibit E. Do you recognize what this label is?
Yes.
What is that?
What, that label?
Yes.
Oh, that's just before photographs.
Okay. And
Okay.
this is how the city.
Yeah, it appears to be a report from Clean and Seal, gives a truck number and the date of service there and the address.
Okay. And the second photograph that is dated November 9th, 2022.
2022. Mhm.
What are we looking at here?
You're looking at the overgrowth. You're looking at the property as it is when the weeds haven't been cut.
Okay. And just to note, have any of the windows been repaired, for example, over the course of any of these additional photographs that you've seen since your first inspection?
No, from my observation, no windows have been repaired, or if they're boarded up, that would have been initiated by Clean and Seal or either through myself in an enforcement action.
Okay. And this second photograph, can you tell us what we are looking at? I mean, I apologize. This is the third photograph in the exhibit. Can you tell us what this is?
That's a before photograph.
And what do we see in it?
You see extreme overgrowth of weeds.
And this is the fourth photograph. Can you tell us what we see?
Okay, so that's a before photograph of what the pavement looked like before we actually went out and did a service to the property.
And this is on the side of the building?
Yes, it is.
And then next is this another label that you described before?
Yes, this is an after photo.
Okay. And can you tell us what we're looking at in the last photograph of this collection?
You can see that the property's been serviced. There's a distinct difference between
How so?
before and after.
When you say there's a distinct difference, are you referring to the?
I'm saying to the effects of cleaning service, a Clean and Seal coming out. This is an after photo.
Okay, so the city did the work in order to remove some vegetation and potentially trash, is what you're saying?
Yes, and if you look at the entry door, you can see that it's been newly sealed.
Now, is this building still standing today?
No, it is not.
Was this demolished by a city demolition unrelated to the case that we are here for today?
Yeah, it was an enforcement action, I believe, given by CSU, another department, contractual service unit. They determine whether the property is structurally sound and poses a danger to pedestrians.
Okay.
I'm going to object to any further testimony in regards to what happened afterwards, because if this witness wasn't a party to whatever CSU did, I don't see how it's one relevant or that this witness can testify to it.
Well, let's do this. Ms. Reinhardt, what is, let's offer proof in terms of where we're headed with this. We spent a lot of time on the issues of the violation notice. Is there a violation notice that you we need to litigate today regarding demolition?
I would like to show you the status of the property now and how the violations were ultimately abated.
Okay, in terms of, let's do this then. There's to be some limited opportunity. It's okay to show the address and the current status. That should be fine. But I don't want to go into a detailed description of an item or an issue that is not part of the current violation notice.
But Mr. Chairman, I would object because the testimony we have now heard seems to be a foundation to say because of the condition of the property, the current state of the property is now that it's been demolished.
Okay, but listen, Mr. Thompson, this is what we're going to do. I hear your argument. This is what we're going to do. Principally because we will make a decision as to whether or not the violation that was written was issued properly, and if in fact there's any merit to your client's appeal. And so if that does not have any impact on the demolition issue, we won't be making a decision on that. So I'm not, and I'm instructing Ms. Reinhardt not to, in essence, try to connect it to what I'm saying to you, Ms. Reinhardt. If that demolition is not part of the violation notice, let's not spend a lot of time on it. You can clearly show us the current status. That's fine. So I've heard your objection, Mr. Lopez. Let's move on.
Thank you. Inspector, I'm showing you 3 photographs that are City Exhibit F. They are dated May 3rd, 2023. Is this what the address looked like shortly after the city demolition?
Yes.
Okay. And showing you the second photograph, is this an angle slightly to the side in order to show additional parts of the address?
Yes.
Okay. And then the third photograph, is that a different angle as well?
Yes, it is.
Are any of the violations noted in your original notice of violation remaining?
No.
Okay. Were any violations complied by the owner that were in your original notice of violation?
No, they were not.
Okay.
So
No
the
further
objection, because
Mr. Thompson, what's the objection?
the objection is how is this witness able to determine that?
Well,
the witness was
and
there
on your cross-examination, Mr. Thompson, on your I'm going to overrule your objection, and you can delve into that when you do a cross.
All right.
Okay.
No further questions.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Lopez, I believe she's finished. You may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you. Sir, are you a licensed structural engineer?
No, I'm not.
And did you at any time refer this property to CSU?
No, I did not.
I think just to correct, I think that's CIU. Just want to be certain that we use this properly. Is it CIU, Mr.
SU, I can confirm that.
It's contractual service unit.
CSU. Okay, my apologies. Okay.
Mr. Chair, could you do me a favor? Have them stop using acronyms and spell it out.
Where appropriate, yes, sir. I will agree with you, so that we all know what we're talking about. Okay, Mr. Lopez Thompson.
Now, when you, and I know this will probably open up a door. When you were, the photographs that you looked at in Exhibit A, they didn't show any structural problems, did they?
Objection.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, we this is what you asked us not to do, and now you're going back to it again. What we ought to be doing is looking at what caused the violation to be written. And I don't think there was any structural defects noted on the violation?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to sustain the objection.
Okay. On the exhibit, and I didn't write it down, but the date was around 2/9/22. Can Ms. Reinhardt, can you pull that back up where there was a photograph, approximately February 9th, 2022, and it was a blight condition.
I'm going to share my screen I believe you were referring to City Exhibit B.
Yes, maybe B, early on. Okay, sir, if you would look at B, it's true that on the second floor, the windows are boarded with what looks to be sheet metal.
Yes.
The door is closed on the first floor.
Yes, it is.
The front window is boarded.
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Reinhardt, can you go to the next picture under it, please?
Sure, and just for the record, that was showing the first photograph of City Exhibit B. We're moving to number 2.
Thank you. Also, if we look at the basement window, it's boarded up, correct?
Correct.
And what appears on the side, the property shows that the door leading to the basement, that appears to be secure as well, correct?
Correct.
Now you indicated, well, can you go to the next slide, Ms. Reinhardt? Okay.
Now showing photograph 3 of City Exhibit B.
All right. Let's look at the top floor. We see from this photograph, 3 windows at the top, correct?
Yes.
None are busted out, are they?
What I'm looking at?
Yes, sir.
At the top of 3 windows, it looks like one of them is busted out, and I believe the one above the antenna is actually damaged as well.
One above the antenna. Which antenna?
The dish on the side of the building.
Okay. How about the 2 on the first floor to the left underneath the bay window?
They look fine.
Are they busted up? And how
They
about
look fine.
the little small one to the right of the dish?
Yep, they're fine.
How about the one on the first floor? Is that open or is it busted out?
It's busted out, but it's been boarded from the inside.
Okay. And L&I didn't do this work, correct?
We did not do the boarding from the inside, but if you look closely at the window that's on the first level to the left, you'll see that the top portion was boarded up, and it is license and inspections work. The door itself was license and inspections work.
Okay. So you indicated in your earlier testimony that 14 windows needed to be repaired and 3 doors. That's not depicted in these photographs, is it?
Not this particular photograph, no.
So the earliest that you became involved with this was in February of 2022, correct?
I believe so.
So, and that's reflective of this photograph, correct? Meaning that this photograph.
My involvement, yes, it was photographed at that time.
Okay. So actually, there were not 14 windows needed, correct?
Objection.
No.
Wait. What's the objection?
So I think this is misstating or mischaracterizing the testimony previously. I think the violation wasn't for completely missing, it was for needing windows in window openings rather than boards. So,
Okay. So I guess, Mr. Thompson, you may need to rephrase your question regarding what Mr. Herbert saw.
Okay. So let's go back to the second floor, for example. That first window that we see in photograph. Is it possible that that window was just open and not
that
busted out?
speculation.
Well,
okay.
Let's as to what he saw.
Okay. Mr. Thompson, you began to issue the number of windows. And of course, at this image, you can't see all the windows in the house in this one image.
Well, I
There
was
were other photographs taken, so you can we can look at all the images and start counting windows if you like. If that
correct.
gets
Well,
us there.
that's what I'm getting at is that I think there was testimony that there were 14 windows that were.
Okay, well, let's ask him how he determined that there are 14 windows.
Thank you. Can you tell us how you determined 14 windows were either missing or broken?
Well, shouldn't the question be based on the first violation that's listed, if I may, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
It says vacant property shall have doors, windows, and openings from the roof or other areas maintained in good repair. It lists 14 windows and 3 doors. I guess if we're spending a lot of time on this, it could be 10 windows and 2 doors. But either way, it seems that if you had 10 windows and 2 doors, the violation would still be applicable. But if Mr. Thompson wants us to count the windows and doors, I guess we could do that.
Well, what I'm getting at is the severity of and the actuality of whether or not it was 10 windows and 3 doors. Because in looking at the photograph, and you all are to try our fact here, is the window in need of repair, or does it need to be replaced, or is it just open?
I would have a question, Mr. Chair.
Oh, wait. Well, no one, I don't think there was an interior inspection, so he probably can't. And that's the issue is with the speculation that without interior inspection, you wouldn't be able to determine specifically. All he knows that the opening is there and there's no window in the opening. But let's do this, Mr. Thompson. I'd ask you to move on as you can, because I think we're whittling away precious time here.
I understand, and I don't have any further questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Ms. Reinhardt, do you have any additional questions for your witness?
I have a very brief redirect for clarification.
Yes.
I'm moving back to City Exhibit A, the notice of violation that was originally issued. Inspector, can you just, first of all, when you went to the property, did you determine whether or not it was vacant or occupied?
Yes, I did. It was vacant.
And how did you determine that?
Because there were various windows boarded up. It was in such a blight condition. It was in the winter time, and there didn't appear to be any smoke coming out of the chimney.
No signs of
utilities that I could tell.
Okay. Now the first violation, I'm not trying to belabor the point, but can you tell us what is needed, what's required under this code requirement listed at the top of the notice of violation regarding windows and doors?
Okay, I don't know if for sure that I wrote, because I'm not looking at the actual notes or the actual violation that I wrote, but normally when I write a windows
I am
and doors,
showing you.
I say,
okay, wait, no. Mr. Herbert,
Yes.
Mr. Herbert, you aren't listening to your lawyer.
Okay.
Listen to her question
Mhm.
and then respond. Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. I am showing you the notice of violation that you wrote right now, both the code section and the note that you wrote with it. Can you tell us what it is about the violation that was required?
Oh, what was required that the windows be either that be operable, that they do what they're supposed to do. Glazing materials, windows frames, glazing, entire entry doors shall constitute in good repair and being locked, fastened, and otherwise secured.
Okay. Would boarding a window satisfy this code requirement?
No.
Okay. Would boarding a door satisfy this code requirement?
No.
Would a broken window in some way, that some aspect, whether it be the glazing or framing, being in disrepair, violate this code provision?
Yes, it would.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Okay,
Just a
thank you.
follow-up question or two.
Yes,
So
sir.
you indicated that from that inspection, you determined that the property was vacant, correct?
Yes.
Then why would you send the next violation to that property if you felt that it was vacant?
Objection, this is relevance.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson, is there an issue of notice that we're concerned with?
There is. my client has well, I'm not going to testify for him, but
Yeah, so what you can do, sir, please put that on the record if you feel that's part of your case.
well, it is because I sent the first notice to Locust Street address,
Okay,
correct?
wait, Mr. Thompson, you aren't hearing me. What I'm saying to you is that everything we've done thus far we've seen the address of all the notices. That's been pretty clear. So when you put your case on, if that is an issue for your client, please do that.
Very well. I understand.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Reinhardt, so we can move on?
Nothing further.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Thompson, it's your turn.
Okay, just I'd like to call Mr. Parlin.
Mr. Parlin, if you'd unmute, now I will swear you in. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Thompson.
Okay, Mr. Parlin, you're the owner of 5653 Pentridge, correct?
Yes.
And just one question. Did you receive notices of these violations at your present address?
I just see notices of the trash violations for March.
Okay, was that the only violation that you received?
Objection to relevance.
So noted, overruled. Please proceed.
I'm sorry, what was your answer?
Yes.
Okay, and you've heard the testimony of the witness, the Inspector Herbert.
Yes.
Did you receive any other notices of violations?
Objection, relevance. This is the only notice of violation.
Yeah, Mr. Thompson, this is the only one we're dealing with, which is this issue that you've appealed.
I believe my witness just testified he only received a violation of weeds.
He said, well, that's all that. If he got that violation, he got everything that's written on the violation that were when she shared the screen. If you want to show us what he got, and if that's different from what we have, then we'll hear it.
Okay, nothing further.
Okay. Anyone else having any cross-examination, Ms. Reinhardt?
No, I would just ask that the city's exhibits A through F be admitted.
Okay.
Thank you.
So noted. I do have a question, Mr. Parler. How long have you owned that house?
I think I signed for documents back in 2020, but it took over a year or two for the city even notarize.
Mr. Parler, you're not answering my question. When did you go to settlement to purchase that house?
What is it, like 2021?
You went to settlement in 21?
What do you mean by like settlement? When I flat
Well,
out
is that the only property you've ever purchased in Philadelphia?
Yes.
It is. Is that your residence?
No.
The property where you reside, do you own that house?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. So when I say settlement, means that you go to either your lawyer or a title office and you give them a check or loan documents and they give you the keys to the house. When did that happen?
1 second. I think it was back in December 2021.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Chair, just one real quick one. Just
Yes.
one real quick one.
Yeah.
Ms. Reinhardt had put up one of her exhibits that had an orange sign.
Right.
What was that?
You can. The inspector may be able to respond to that.
Okay, so Mr. Inspector, could you answer that question for me, please?
I am showing it. I'm pulling it up on the screen to show it.
Yeah.
Now.
Those are placards placed by Clean and Seal, stating that is a warning. It's a warning sign.
So there's also one on the other side, right? There's one on the front and there's one on the side, correct?
Yes, you can see it.
And they're just the warning to the homeowner that there's some issues. Call us, correct?
Yes, I'm not able to read it off, but yes, it is a notification. It's a placard. Yep.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask the appellant a question.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir. Here's a quick question for you.
Well, wait, we may be able
Or
to
do I wait? Let me
focus
ask.
on
Do I
that.
ask him or do I ask his attorney?
Okay, wait a minute. Let me focus in on you. Maybe to read it before you ask the question. Let's see if we can focus in on the sign.
No. That's not my question.
Oh, understood. But since it came up, I want to know what it says. If we could just focus it.
Okay.
It's a no trespass sign and some other warnings. Okay. All right. So please, you can ask the the appellant directly, Mr.
All right.
Parlin.
Okay, Mr. Parlin. When you saw that on your building on the front and on the side, what did you do?
Them signs was always on the building.
They wasn't new signs.
No,
They had been there for years.
they've been there for years.
Ms. Chair, I would like to ask Mr. Herbert a question now. Is that testimony he gave true and correct?
I believe so.
So he really didn't know. I don't know how to ask this question. So in order for him to repair what was needed, what did he need to do?
Mr. Herbert?
I believe that he needed to first evaluate what exactly needed to be repaired after he removed the boards from the windows, and he would have had to get permits. And I don't know what the history of the property is, but
okay. Not how to put this, but on them signs, what I just read, it had nothing to do with any of what you just said.
Yeah, I don't think there's a connection.
That's what I'm
Mr.
saying.
Marshall.
I'm trying to understand. Mr.
Yeah. I think the issue of what work needs to be done is really contained in the violation notice itself, not the signs that are on the building. The signs on the building are more of a warning to the general public and to others that they shouldn't be going in, etc.
Right, so I'm assuming that once he saw them, he should have called his lawyers or the inspector to find out why is this on my building after so many years. Would you agree that my question was on the right page?
Yeah. So I guess, Mr. Parlin, the issue is, did you take any action once you saw the signs, either before you bought the building or afterwards? Did you take any action?
What do you mean? Like, did I do anything as far as with the property?
Yeah. Did you call the city? Did you call? Did you make the decision to make repairs? Did you do anything?
Yeah, that's what I did. I went down and put in for appeals. I read the letter and it said I can appeal because after all the violations, and that's what I did after getting the letter.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Washington?
No, that's it, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
I do, Mr. Chair.
Okay, wait, Mr. Thompson. You rested your case, so I want to see if the board has any questions. And if you want to have some redirect, you can do that. Any other board members have any questions before we?
Yes, I did have a question, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to, because you asked the question of Mr. Parlin when he acquired the property. If I said to you the city's website at OPA, Office of Property Assessments, showed the purchase of the property being made on just a moment. Make this bigger. Purchase of the property was in 2020 for $3,200 on 12/27/2020. Would that be a correct state? Would that be a proper record that the city has? December 27th, 2020, when you acquired the property for $3,200? You're muted.
He hasn't responded. He doesn't show muted on mine.
I don't believe he
Oh,
understands.
he's not. I'm sorry. It's the inspector who's muted.
Mr. Parlin,
are you able to answer my question?
One more time. What was the question?
The city's Office of Property Assessments has a record for this property saying it was purchased by Jaleel Parlin on 12/27/20 for $3,200. Do you think this record is correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. One other question, if I may.
Yes.
The a violation notice that's cited has an address on Locust Street. 5231 Locust Street. Did you live at that address in February of 2023?
February of 20. Yes.
And so when you said you received a notice about weeds and trash, that could well be the notice that's attached here in our city records. Is that correct?
You said when I received the notice about
trash and weeds, you said you did receive a notice about trash and weeds. Is that correct?
Yes, I did receive that.
Okay, all right. Well, that's page 1 of the violation notice. Violation notice happens to be 3, 4, 5 pages long, but that was page 1. Okay, thank you. You've answered my questions.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, you wanted to read you had follow-up questions for your client?
I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone, if no one else has anything else, Mr. Thompson, do you have any final argument? After which Ms. Reinhardt, please, sir, if you have any final argument, please
The
share that with.
only thing is that we believe that the city didn't do its due diligence in terms of sending out the violation notices, is particularly the one going to the property. I mean, if you know the property is vacant, why would you send notices to the property, especially if there's a different address on the deed? It shouldn't have been a notice going to a property that they're deeming abandoned, that nobody is probably receiving mail at. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Reinhardt?
Thank you. I will say that as an initial matter, as this was a timely filed appeal that attached a notice of violation, I think that the record is clear that notice was effective and in fact sufficient here, according to Mr. Parlin's testimony as well, that he received it. I think that with the photographs provided, the inspector's testimony, and no contradiction regarding any kind of work done by the property owner to abate any of the violations noted on the notice, I think that the notice in total should be city affirmed.
Okay, thank you very much. We will now poll the board. Just one moment, please. We will now poll the board regarding HA-2023-001468 5663 Pinch Ridge Street, Jalil Parlin, city affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you. They have all voted. Mr. Patton. Is Patton still with us?
He's there, I think, but he's muted.
Okay. Let's let the record reflect that Mr. Patton is not available to vote. But the majority vote is city affirmed. Thank you, everyone, which means, of course, Mr. Parlin, you've lost your appeal. Now, your attorney knows that you can appeal the decision of this board. And so if that's what you choose to do, then, of course, I'm sure he will represent your interests. Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Thank you, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Mr. Wade, do we have any matters left?
Yes. Excuse me, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
do we ever do number 24?
24?
Settlement agreement.
Yeah, that was a settlement agreement.
Thank you.
Okay. Which matter do we have, Mr. Wade?
We need to recall case number 16, hearing appeal ending 3826, 7278 Leonard Street, Luba, Storozenko.
Okay.
He called, but he could unmute his phone. He needs to hit star 9 to unmute his phone.
Okay, is he present?
He was let me see. I'm sending him a prompt to unmute
Yeah,
now.
he sent it away.
Yeah. I
Okay.
see, they're still logged onto the call, still on mute.
Well,
Good, Mr. Washington.
Kenny, you're
Yeah.
muted.
Okay. All righty. No success, I guess, huh?
Hold on, I'm gonna reach out to him.
Okay. He may have to, would it be easier just for him to put in a request of reconsideration?
I think at this point, if I can get him on the phone, it's easier to just roll back than to have the whole appeal rolled back. And he was on the hearing the whole day.
Okay.
Just to roll back, we could roll back the decision and continue the matter, or we could see if I could see if he can unmute. He needs to hit star. He needs to hit star. Star nine. He was he was on the phone with technical support and they explained this to him.
Okay, Mr. Fernandez, do you have a preference?
Well, I have not heard any explanation why Mr. Storozenko was not present at the time that the case was called. So absent an explanation, I would ask that the board keep the city affirmed for lack of appearance disposition.
Okay.
However, of course, if there is an adequate and valid explanation as to their absence, I would not have a problem with this being relisted if the board determines that's appropriate.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what we get here. Thank you.
Hold on 1 second. Phone number they've listed is not in service. They've dropped off the call. So
Okay, so we will let the status remain. If he does connect with you, you can advise him to submit a request for reconsideration.
okay.
Okay, thank you. Is there anything else?
That's all.
Okay, thank you, everyone. That brings to a close our hearings for today. Mr. Kelly, we're now done. Off the record.
Thank you, Chair. Have a good evening, everyone.
Everyone have a good evening.
Everyone. Have a
Have a
blessed
good
one.
evening, everyone. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.